Welcome, weary wanderers, to the Library of Legend. This is Read and Roll. I am JackTarLad, ya boy. I can hear myself through my monitor, so I'm going to turn that off just quickly. And yes, so welcome to the show. Last week we had on Kadath, we had Eclectic Goat last week. And she did extremely well through the Forest of Doom. I got a new bunny rabbit named after me thanks to a donation by the chat really, but Rick Cleary managed to slip in a nice £20 dib-dob donation, and so Eclectic Goat said that if we reached a goal of £25, that she would name her next rabbit after me. So JackTar Rabbit it is. And I think if she says if we got to a total of I think it was 40 quid, she'd name the next female rabbit JackTar Lola or something like that. But nevertheless, she did very well. She's on a bit of a cliffhanger in the Forest of Doom, so we will have to welcome her back sometime. What have I been doing since the last Read and Roll? Well, this weekend I actually managed to go to the UK Games Expo, and in relation to this stream specifically, I have here in my hands a copy of the book Magic Realms, which contains all of the artwork from the books. So if I can, I'll try and, oh, here we go. I'll see if I can. So it's got all of the artwork from the books in here, like the cover art, the line drawings. Let's see if I can find some of the line drawings. Yeah, here, look. You see, it's got a whole bunch of those line drawings in it. Got some bigger ones too, like it's not just the small print ones. But what's so special about this book is that I actually managed to speak to the gosh darn it, the co-creator of the Fighting Fantasy series and co-creator of Games Workshop and publisher of White Dwarf magazine and loads of geeky stuff anyway. But yeah, Ian Livingston. And he said, to Jack, art is magic, read and roll, Ian Livingston. Isn't that awesome? Signed copy from the man himself, Ian Livingston. He was at the games convention, and so yeah, I got to meet him, shake his hand, have a little bit of a chat with him. I have filmed some content, but it's getting the time to edit it all together, and so hopefully we'll be able to see that soon. What have we got on today? Well, we're gonna do a little bit of a different show today. Because unfortunately my guest is unable to make it this evening, and I knew this about a week ago. And so when I was thinking about it, I was going through my head, should I get another guest on, or should I do what I've been wanting to do for a few episodes, and that is to do a tutorial. And so this week, I'm going to be the dungeon master and the adventurer, and we're going to go through a book, and we're going to do it like the right way. But it's with a little bit of a twist, because as you know, the channel is monetized over on Rumble. And it's also monetized through Stream Elements. So you are able to donate money, and it will affect the game. So I'll get into that a little bit more in a minute. But I thought we've played City of Thieves enough times on this channel now to be able to sort of go through it correctly. And so that's what I'm going to be doing today. We are going to be reading The City of Thieves again, but I've got a feeling that we're going to... Yes, Legatus, tutorial. Fantastic. That's what he says. Is it not coming up? Let's see. I need the featured chat. There it is. Featured chat. And Abe saying, I bet you won't even survive, Jack. Well, that's the thing, you see, mate. I actually know the real way, or at least a good way, through the book. And so it's gonna be a bit of a short show if I just, you know, like roll straight through it. I'm still going to be doing the battles. I'm still going to be rolling the dice, all that kind of stuff. But with regards to the monetization, I'm making it a little bit different. So I'm going to be battling against you guys out there in a sense. Because if you make certain donations, you'll be able to negatively affect my game to make it not so easy for me. So I think I think I'm going to lower the price of the enemy spawning from £20 to £10. For every pound that you donate, you can roll a dice, and it will choose either the skill, stamina, or luck. And for every pound you donate, if it's the lower third of 6, so 1 or 2, then it'll be skill. If it's 3 or 4, then it'll be stamina. And if it's 5 or 6, it will be luck. And I will deduct 1 point from my score, basically. What else was I thinking about doing? Yeah, all the other monetization options are down in the description below. And so you can still choose to do those things if you want to help me or not. But specifically, for every pound you donate, let's think about this. Yeah, if you donate a pound, you've got to roll a dice. You've got to roll a die, and whichever one it lands on will determine which one gets deducted. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. If 3 options, number 1 equals 1 and 2, 2 equals 3 and 4, and 3... Yeah, that's right. Make the dice roll for which option you take. Yeah, so it's the way that you're saying there. So for skill, it'll be 1 and 2. For stamina, it'll be 3 and 4. And for luck, it'll be 5 and 6. And £10, a donation of £10 will spawn a random enemy which I have to roll their stats for. I am also over on Rumble as well. Don't forget, boys and girls, you can go over to my Rumble channel there. It's the rumble.com/C read and roll. Go over there. I'm actually live over there at the moment, coming through, being piped through to YouTube. So please go over there, give me the support. You can donate through Rumble Rants, you can donate through memberships, or you can go to the Stream Elements tipping link, which is down in the description down below. And so yeah, so I think with that said, we're going to get into it. Hello, Scream Queen Selena over on Rumble. It's a pleasure to see you. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if you had an opportunity to see the monetization options, or you managed to catch the very first part of this. But today we're kind of doing a tutorial episode. As Dungeon Master, I have all of the answers to get through the book, The City of Thieves. And So it's gonna be a tutorial of how to get through the book, but I'm gonna be battling against the chat, hopefully. So I think we're going to get into it basically. Let's just get on in there. Okay, so I haven't rolled any dice for my initial stats yet. And let's get the book up. Get it up. There we go. There she is. There she blows. Yeah, it does sound fun. I thought it'd be a good idea. Right, so I hope you can hear me well. I kind of felt like I heard a little bit of a crackling on my microphone, which I wasn't very happy about. Can you guys hear that crackling on my microphone? Let me just put it back into monitor and output. Can you hear that crackling on my microphone? Like every time I talk, there's like a zzz sound. Like a bit of a crackling. I'm not very happy about that. I don't know where it's come from. I don't know if it's actually coming from the mic or from the audio interface to the computer. Let's just see if I give it a little bit of a kick. 1, 2. Still there. 1, 2. You see what I mean? It's there it is. It's weird. Anyway, I think we'll be able to do it for now. So let's get on with it. Without being able to hear myself today, I might be able to read a little better as well because I'm not speech jamming myself. So my adventure sheet. My adventure sheet is here. And as you can see, I've already got my thing set up in it. I've got my sword, I've got my backpack, I've got 10 provisions. I know that Owen Caroliff is going to give me 30 gold, and I've chosen the Potion of Fortune. Now, I'm still obviously going to roll for my stats, just like every Dungeoneer does. I sound nice and clear, or nice and queer. Nice and clear. Thank you so much, Selena. I appreciate you saying so. Right, so I think we ought to get into it. I'm going to do my dice rolls. So the first dice roll, of course, is for my skill. So it'll be 1d6 and then add 6. So 1d6 coming up. There we go. So 3 plus 6 is 9. That's my skill. Of course, as usual, it will never go any higher than that. And then for my stamina, 2d6, 5 and a 2, that is 7, plus the 12, that's 18, 19. So 19 is my initial stamina. And now for my luck score, which is 1d6 plus 6. And that's a 5 plus the 6. There we go. That's 11. I've got good luck. That'll help me later on in the game. 9's a pretty good initial skill. It's not the best I could have got. Initial stamina, it's not great, but it's not game ending. So I've rolled pretty good stats there to start off with. So let's get into it. As we know, if you don't know, in City of Thieves you're a wanderer, an adventurer, and like a sword fighter, and you battle monsters, you look for adventure, and etc, and you end up coming to the town of Silverton, and unfortunately the town is under a curse by the dreaded Zanbar Bone, who is the Night Prince, and essentially the town is under a curse because Owen Caroliff, the mayor, Zanbar Bone sends in a couple of his demon dudes. Yeah, demon dudes, that's what I'm calling them. Sends in his demon dudes and says, we want your daughter, Mirelle. And he's like, nah, I'm not doing that, fam. I'm not giving you my daughter. And so they ride out of town, and ever since then, Sandbar Bones moondogs have been plaguing the town, breaking into houses, ripping up the people, and so on and so forth. And so rather than go through all of the the opening blurb, which is like 3 pages long, we're just going to get into it. So basically what we got to do, Owen Caroliff gives us 30 gold pieces and a nice brand new sharp sword with, you know, snakes twinning around the hilt and etc. And he says, go to Port Blacksand. My old friend, a wizard named Nicodemus, is there. He knows how to defeat Zanbarbone. If you can defeat him and you can come back here and free us from the curse, then job's a good un. We'll give you some dollar. Yeah? So, we're going to start at paragraph 1, of course, the best place to start in these games usually. So, let's get on with it. Let's just say hello to some of you lovely people in the chat though first. We've got the Ghastly Jonas, of course. Hello, mate. Good to see you. We've also got Abe. Hello, Abe. And Scream Queen Selena at the moment. We are lacking some people at the moment. There are usually a good few more in here by now. Yes. Anyway, so let's get on with it. The walk to Port Blacksand takes you west some 50 miles across plains and over hills, fortunately without any harmful encounters. Eventually you reach the coast where you see the high city wall surrounding Port Blacksand and the cluster of buildings projecting into the sea like an ugly black mark. Ships lie anchored in the harbour and smoke rises gently from the chimneys. It looks peaceful enough, and it's only when the wind changes that you smell the decay in the breeze to remind you of the evil nature of this notorious place. Eclectic Goat in the chat, welcome Goat, it's a pleasure to see you. Hey all, we're eager to watch Jack play with himself. Indeed, Eclectic Goat. It's a little bit of a twisty one today. So I've got all the keys, I've got all the answers because I'm the dungeon master. I know how to get through this game. However, I've just rolled my stats and I have 9 skill, 19 stamina and 11 luck. Now, it would be wholly unfair for me to just roll straight through this game and know all the answers, so I'm monetizing it in a different way today. You can choose from any of the monetization options in the description below. However, if you donate £1 for every sort of every £1 donation that you make, that sort of thing, we'll roll a dice, we'll roll a die, and whichever third of the sort of, you know, 1 to 6 it is will depend on whether I deduct 1 from my skill, stamina or luck. So there we have it. But you can also spawn an enemy for a £10 donation. And so yes, anyway, on with the story. Following the dusty road north along the coast gives to the city gates, you begin to notice fearful warnings: skulls on wooden spikes, starving men in iron cages suspended from the city wall, and black flags everywhere. As you approach the main gate, a chill runs down your spine, and you instinctively grip the hilt of your broadsword for reassurance. At the gate, you are confronted by a tall guard wearing black chainmail, a black chainmail coat and an iron helmet. He steps forward, barring the way with his pike, saying, "Who would enter Port Blacksand uninvited? State the nature of your business or go back the way you came." Will you? Tell him you wish to be taken to Nicodemus. Tell him you wish to sell some stolen booty, or attack him quickly with your sword. Well, in this first choice, it may not seem obvious straight away that you want to give the game away, but really, one of the best things to do is tell him that you wish to be taken to Nicodemus. The guard replies that he will send for an escort to take you to Nicodemus. He reaches up to a small bell on the wall of the guardhouse and rings it 3 times. Almost immediately, 2 other guards come running out of the house, and you are surprised when they each grab hold of one of your arms. The guard with the pike looks up to the sky and laughs and says, "So you want to see Nicodemus, do you? How would you like to see the inside of a dungeon cell instead? Guards, take this fool away to be shackled and throw away the key." Will you allow yourself to be taken away, attempt to fight the guards, or try to bribe the guards? Hail to the Devastator in the chat. It's a pleasure to see you. We're having a game with a bit of a difference today. I know the way through the City of Thieves, and so I'm going to give you a tutorial on what the best way through is. But for every £1 you donate, we will roll a dice and see whether or not the £1's worth gets deducted from my skill, stamina, or my luck. But also for a £10 donation, you can spawn a random enemy. And all of the usual monetization options down below apply. Oh, that's something I didn't do. I didn't do the like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, I am also on Rumble. Click the thing, do the stuff, shove a thumb right up on in there. Not in trouble yet, Steve. No, I am not in trouble yet, but I am on Rumble. Go over to rumble/c/read and roll, and I am live over there currently on Rumble Studio. Even if you keep the browser window open, you put it in low resolution so it doesn't eat up your bandwidth, and you mute it just to stay in the chat over here, by all means, please do that. I'm trying to get my watch hours up over there. So anyway, it may not be obvious again, but in this instance, we will allow ourselves to be taken away. The 2 guards lead you into the guardhouse and take you immediately downstairs to the cells below. There are 4 cells, and all are empty except for one, which houses a frail, white-haired old man. The guards unlock the cell next to the old man's and throw you in, placing your sword on a table outside. The only contents of the cell are a straw mattress, and an arid pail. That's not right. Live editing, folks. We'll do it live. Yes, the only contents of the small cell are a mattress and a pail of water. The guards go back upstairs, and as they disappear, the old man gets up off his bed and starts to speak. "You're an outsider, aren't you? Don't reply, it's obvious. Do you want to set me free? Give me 10 gold pieces and I'll have you out in 5 minutes. The old man then puts his arm through the bars of the cell with the palm of his hand upturned. If you wish to give the old man 10 gold pieces, turn to 351. If you would rather ignore the old man, turn to 29. Well, what should I do, boys and girls? What do you think I should do? What would you do? Do I give the old geezer 10 gold pieces and he's gonna get me out of here, or do you think I should ignore him? Well, the answer to it is that we should ignore this poor bugger. Forget about him. We're not giving him any of our money because we need it to buy stuff around Port Blacksand. You squat down on the mattress and consider what to do next. If you wish to feign illness and throw the iron pail against the bars of the cell to attract the guard's attention, turn to 143. If you wish to inspect the cell closely in the hope of finding a secret escape route, turn to 230. Eclectic Goat saying, I feel the watch hour pain despite getting higher watch hours in the last 365 days. I've lost 300 hours. Does that mean that you've literally just gone past a month where you had a whole bunch of hours and it's completely wiped them out? I hate it when it does that. They're gonna take Jack away, haha, hee hee, ho ho, to the funny farm. where life is beautiful all the time. Yes, indeed. So, what do you think I should do, boys and girls? Feign illness or inspect the cell closely? I wonder. Well, before you get to answer, because there's like a, I think on YouTube there's like a 20-second delay, even though on Rumble there is only a 3-second delay, or something like that. But anyway, I'm going to feign illness. This is probably the best option. Is to feign illness. When you hear the guards coming down the stairs, you lie on the floor and start to groan. They unlock the cell door and enter. If you wish to continue without, with the feigned illness, and tell them that you think you've got the plague, turn to 306. If you wish to fight them unarmed, turn to 157. Well, I'd be absolutely dumb if I were to fight them unarmed. So I'm going to try to blag them that I have the plague. So turn to 306. The two guards look at each other in horror and run out of the cell up the stairs, screaming, "Plague!" at the top of their voices. Smiling to yourself, you walk calmly out of the cell and pick up your sword off the table. Upstairs, you find that the guards have fled. A search of the room reveals 2 gold pieces and a merchant's past trade in Port Blacksand. So let's open up my adventure sheet and add those things to the adventure sheet. Now I have 32 gold. How lovely! Oh, by the way, I chose Potion of Fortune. I don't know whether I mentioned that previously. It doesn't, Eclectic Goat. Inspecting the cell at least might give you tools, but it doesn't. See, this is the thing. I'm actually going through the game in the true path, as it says in the beginning of the book. There is one true way through the City of Thieves. It involves the minimum of risk, and you know, no matter how shitty your rolls are, you'll still be able to get through it. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing today. It's a tutorial of how to get through the City of Thieves. So I have oh, I've got the merchant's pass as well. I'm just going to write it in. I don't need to show you. Abe seems to think that I'm still not going to make it through. The guards as Legionnaires, someone told me they've begun not counting time where people stay muted. Is that so? So like, if you have dead air, that's weird. Or do you mean like if people turn the sound off turn the sound off the tab, that sort of thing? Well, what if you're deaf? Then you don't need the sound and you put the captions on? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Taking your findings, you move over to the door and creep outside into the city. Through the main gates, you see that the rubbish-filled streets of the port are narrow and cobbled. Old and decrepit buildings line them closely, with their upper stories overhanging menacingly. You may go west down Key Street, head north along Market Street, or go east down Clock Street. Well, I think I'm going to go west down Key Street. Hang on. Like when people leave a playlist running but mute it to help get watch hours. Yeah, I see what you mean. But usually it goes on IP address. I'm pretty sure we were talking about this in Paul Hadouken's chat just a short while ago. Like, something about mods not being able to give you watch hours. That's just not true. It's not in their terms of service or their it all goes on IP address. But how they would detect that you've muted it, or why that would matter that you've muted it, because like I said previously, what if there are deaf people? They don't actually need the sound on, and sometimes it automatically starts the stream muted, especially if you've had another stream or another video muted at a different time. Anyway, so the next option is to go west down to Key Street. That's where we're gonna go. On the left side of the street, you see a large iron key hanging over the doorway of a small shop. A sign in the window reads, "J.B. Raggins, Locksmith." If you want to enter the shop, turn to 224. If you would rather continue walking west, turn to 300. Well, we're going to keep walking west. I've no need to go in that locksmith shop at all. However, the street makes a sudden right turn. That's supposed to say right, not night. A sudden right turn and heads north. You pass a cluster of small houses and are aware of unseen people watching you walk by. Then the door to one of the houses opens and a small boy dressed in rags runs out and hands you a piece of paper. Without stopping, he runs off and disappears round the corner. The paper has a message on it which reads, "Arrows from 6 bows are pointed at you. Leave 10 gold pieces in the middle of the street and keep walking. If you want to obey the instruction, make the necessary deduction on your adventure sheet and lose 2 luck points, and turn to 347. If you want to keep walking without leaving the gold, turn to 137. Well, if I keep walking, they'll shoot me with arrows, and I will leave an awful lot of I will lose, an awful lot of stamina. And so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pay the troll toll if you want to get into this boy's soul. Always go west. Yes, Abe. Always go west. Life is peaceful there sometimes. So I will make the necessary deductions on my adventure sheet. Davyverse, hello in the chat. It's good to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining us here on this lovely Thursday evening. I'm playing by myself. I'm playing with myself. That's what Eclectic Goat says. You get to watch me play with myself on this stream. So I will deduct the $10 div dobs. So now I've got 22 gold. And I've also got to deduct 2 luck. So I now have 9 luck. Excellent. There we go. But like I said, don't forget, this is the best way through it. So even though it seems like I'm making bad decisions, these are actually some of the best decisions that you can make in the game. That's my that's what I'm saying, and I'm sticking to it. You hurry on down the street, but glance back after hearing cries of jubilation behind you. Some people are linked arm in arm and are dancing in a circle around your 10 gold pieces. You curse this thieving city and press on north. Turn to 112. While most of the houses in this street are small, cramped and dark, you see that one ahead stands alone and it's painted bright red. The door has a welcome sign hanging from it. If you wish to enter the house, turn to 154. If you would prefer to keep walking north, turn to 334. Well, in this instance, no, it's me, mate. I'm playing this one this time. So anyway, yes. we're actually going to go into the red house. There's a couple of things that I want to pick up. Yes, the dungeon master is saying that there are good decisions to make. Well, like I say, you see, it's different to playing Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons, you can kind of make things up ad hoc. Whereas these books are pretty linear. You know, you get to choose from a certain set of choices within the book. Of course, me as a dungeon master, I can add or take away things from the game. It's like last week I gave Eclectic Goat a little bit of a boon when that monster was generated by Rick Cleary, and so yeah, you know, I can kind of change the game a little bit, but I'm trying to stick to the the flow of the book and how it's supposed to go. Anyway, we are going to go inside the house. Inside the house, you find yourself in a room painted red and empty, apart from a table on top of which are 2 glass bowls. In one there is a small golden scorpion, and in the other lies a silver scorpion. In the far corner of the room there are stairs that lead up to another floor. You may pick up the golden scorpion, pick up the silver scorpion, climb the stairs, or leave the house and head north. Well, the first thing I will do is pick up the gold scorpion. Inspecting the scorpion, you see that it is... That's supposed to be... It is... a brooch. You decide to pin it on your leather tunic. It's a lucky charm. Add 2 luck points to your total. Jolly good, I shall do that. You see, those 2 luck points that I lost just a short while ago, I got them back. And I've got a golden scorpion brooch. Nice. Okay. Now, I can either pick up the silver scorpion, or ignore it and climb the stairs, or leave the house and head north. I'm going to pick up the silver scorpion. Inspecting the scorpion, you see that it's a brooch. Another one. You decide to pin it to your leather tunic. The brooch has magic healing properties. After any battle, the brooch will immediately restore 1 stamina point to your total. What will you do next? So let's just go back to my adventure sheet. And we can say silver scorpion. Silver brooch plus 1 stam after battle. There we are, look. However, this time, I don't think I want to explore this house anymore, because it's a bit of a shit heap. And so I'm going to leave the house. I know what you would say, but there's an upstairs part to the house. Yes, I know that, but not everywhere needs to be explored. Some of the passages in the book are meant to trap you. Some of the passages in the book are just wild goose chases. It tells you that in the beginning of the book. Anyway, walking towards you down the street are 2 town guards. They stop in front of you and demand to see your papers. Show me your papers. If you possess the merchant's pass, turn to 255. If you do not, turn to 99. Well, I do have a merchant's pass thanks to feigning that illness and pretending I've got the plague. The guards eye you suspiciously, but let you walk on after seeing your pass. You walk on quickly north. The street soon makes another sharp turn to the right and you find yourself walking east. Outside one of the houses to your left is a pile of rubbish and broken objects. On top of the pile is a pair of boots. that look about your size. If you wish to try them on, turn to 362. If you wish to keep walking east, turn to, that should say to, not of. I'm getting to do this live, folks, because sometimes, even though I've gone through these Word documents time after time after time, some of the pages no one's been to, and so I don't get to see them as often, and I still miss, like, especially small words like to and of and etc, etc, etc. Shitholes are the best, are they, Daveyverse? Good decisions equal paying the DM. That is a very good decision. Yes. I miss the old days of the GM bribe. Yep. My old high school group paying for the DM's slices of pizza or their Slurpee. I miss those days. Two lads at my firm found £250,000 in leads behind a skirting board. There's no place like home, then you gotta fight the Wicked Witch. Yeah. Who was it? Was it Daramuth in this who played this book last? And got trapped fighting the serpent woman. I think it was. It was a couple of games before you would collect it go. Now that we've got a few other people here, by the way, just to let you know, there are a couple of other monetization options today. For every sort of £1 you donate, essentially you could wipe me out in one go by donating £20. But essentially, if you donate £10 today, that will spawn a random enemy. I've lowered it to £10 just for today because I know the way through the book and because I know where I'm going, etc. I've got to make it a little bit harder for myself. So if you want to donate £10, you can spawn a random enemy. But for every like singular pound that you donate, we'll roll a dice. Or we'll roll a die, and depending on the number, it will determine whether I deduct 1 point from my skill, stamina, or luck. So if you are feeling generous, you can either donate through Rumble Rants, or you can donate through the Stream Elements tipping page, which is in the description below. So anyway, Street soon makes another sharp turn. Do I wish to try the boots on? Yes, I do. There's a reason why. The boots fit perfectly and walking about you feel very sure-footed. They are magic elven boots. Add 1 skill point to your total and set off again east. Well, realistically, I didn't need to do that because I'm already up to my full skill. Maybe I should think about this and go a different way, because a different way you actually get to find a magic helmet. I think someone's played this game before. They've come across a madman and he has a helmet, or no, he has a glass ball. And the last time someone played this, they killed the madman and they got the glass ball, and then he asks you whether you want to smash it on the ground, put it in your rucksack, or just leave it. And they put it in their rucksack, but what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to smash it on the floor because it gives you a magic helmet and it adds 1 to your attack strength. But I got my little red booties. Yeah, that's right, Daveyverse. Got my little red booties. And my little pink sock. You arrive at a 4-way junction in the street. The street continuing east changes its name to Clock Street, and the street running north is called Market Street. Looking north, you see a crowd of people walking up the street, cheering loudly and waving their arms in the air. You decide to follow them. Doesn't really give me a choice there. As you catch up with the chanting crowd, you see that they are carrying eggs and rotten tomatoes. Soon the street opens out into a large market square. All around the edge are stalls with vendors, hawkers, musicians and entertainers carrying on their business. In the middle of the square is an elevated pillory. Above the noise of the crowd, a trumpet sounds and the crowd start to pelt a man in the pillory with rotten food. An old woman standing next to you offers you 2 eggs to throw. Not wishing to appear an outsider, you take the eggs and hurl them. But as you do, the old woman picks your pockets and without noticing, you lose 1 gold piece or any one item you have. Unaware of your loss, you you walk away from the crowd to look at the various stalls. So I'm going to lose my 1 gold piece. Let's get the adventure sheet up. I'm going to lose me 1 gold piece. Been not many battles so far. In fact, no battles so far. Not many dice rolls apart from my initial dice rolls. I've got 21 gold now. But, like I said, minimum of risk. Let's carry on. The food stalls are selling fruit, vegetables, meat and hot soup, corn and chestnuts for hungry shoppers. You may eat some food if you wish, pay 3 gold pieces and increase your stamina by 2 points. But walking north along the west side of the square, you see a man dressed in purple velvet playing a lyre. You liar! If you wish to stop and listen, turn to page 3. If you would rather walk past him, turn to 398. Well, I'm just going to walk past the lyrist. I think he does give you some luck. What are you saying? So is your fetish watching Jack play with himself or watching him get beat? Helmet and glass ball, that's all below the wrist. In a real TTRPG, you put it in your bag and smash it during a battle as a last bit of desperation. Interesting. Now that is, yeah, I mean, like, because you could choose to do that, couldn't you? You'd be able to do that in a TTRPG, but like I said, because these games are so linear, you don't necessarily get to do those things. But anyway, we're going to walk past the lyrist, even though he could grant me some luck by playing a lucky song. A small circle of people is standing around a bare-chested man. He's enormous and his muscles are as hard as iron. He's asking the crowd for a volunteer to play catch with a cannonball. He states that whoever drops the cannonball must pay the other 5 gold pieces. If you wish to take him on at his game, turn to 378. If you would rather walk on, turn to 52. Well, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to walk on, basically. Because it's just a waste of money. It's taking you on a different way. Anyway, behind the next stall is a young man selling small weapons and items of equipment. The prices of his wares are chalked up on a slate. So, what do I want to buy, boys and girls? What do you think I should buy? There is a throwing knife for 4 gold pieces, a climbing rope for 2 gold pieces, a butcher's meat hook for 2 gold pieces, an iron spike for 1 gold piece, and a lantern for 3 gold pieces. If I wish to buy some or all of the items, make the necessary adjustments on my adventure sheet, and you walk north, turning to 200. So what do you think? What would you buy in the chat? What would you buy from that? From that list? If any of you remember back to other people's games that they've played in City of Thieves, like when other people have played City of Thieves. I think, has Abe played City of Thieves once? I know that Daramuth has definitely played it. And Kadath is still on the Talisman of Death. It'll be his 3rd episode on the Talisman of Death the next time he comes on. Well, I can tell you that a lantern is going to come in very much a handy thing a little bit later on in the game, and a throwing knife will also come in handy. However, I don't know if I'm going to buy it. The reason why the throwing knife comes in handy is because you can use it to throw at the vagabonds, but if you buy it, then your 4 gold piece is less than you need to be in order to complete some of the tasks a little bit further ahead. So I don't think I'm going to buy the throwing knife, but I am going to buy the lantern. Let's get me adventure sheet up. Don't forget we are monetized, so if you want to give us a rumble rant, you can do. If you donate £10, you'll spawn a random enemy anywhere at any time and we'll roll for their stats. If you donate like singular pounds, or if you donate like up to £5, I think we'll keep it there. If you donate up to £5, we will deduct that much worth from a dice roll of, and it will the dice roll will determine whether it's skill, stamina, or luck that it gets deducted from. So I'm going to buy the lantern for 3 gold pieces. So we have a lantern and 3 gold pieces less. Brings me down to 18, doesn't it? So I had 21. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, moving on. You are still in the woods, Goat. You are still in the woods. I was looking at your adventure sheet earlier. You got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff in your backpack. Anyway, let's move on. We walk north. In the stall area, there is a small brightly coloured tent. Attached to it is a small sign which reads, Madame Star, Clairvoyant. If you wish to enter the tent, turn to 394. If you would rather continue north, turn to 117. Well, I mean, I don't need to go in here. I mean, for those who haven't played the book before, you might want to go in there because it tells you that the clairvoyant tells you that you're supposed to meet a man under a bridge, yada yada, so that kind of gives you a clue as to where Nicodemus is. But you have to pay her as well, so you're losing money that you need a little bit later on. Eclectic Goat saying he's already got a rabbit named after him off of donations. I need to remember to get a picture of JackTarLad. I thought that we didn't actually reach the goal for JackTarLad. I thought it was, we got to £25, so that was Jack Rabbit or something like that. And if we reached £40, then it would be JackTarLad. Or are you saying like combined over shows, or combined over the shows that you're on, or what are we saying, Goat? What are we saying? Anyway, I don't want to enter the tent because she's gonna tell me a bunch of shit that I don't need to pay for, so I'm going to continue north. At the end of Market Street, a street named Bridge Street runs north out of the square. You decide to walk down it in the hope of finding the elusive Nicodemus. It starts to rain and the tumble-down houses huddled together on either side of the street look as if they need shelter themselves. Most have their windows boarded up and are empty. The door to one flaps noisily in the wind. You wish to take refuge in the derelict house until the rain stops, turn to 188. If you would rather press on ahead, turn to 31. Well, I think I'm going to press on ahead. We might get the yeah, no, so I thought that I wasn't thinking, Goat, that I was going to get a boy and a girl, but I thought that if we reached one, it was the boy, and then if we reach the higher goal, that it was the girl, but we've only reached the boy rabbit. Oh, 15 was the boy. Okay, 15 was the boy, and 25 was the girl rabbit. Okay, fine. Alright, so the girl and 40... Oh, 40 was both. Is that right? Jolly good. Anyway, I'm not going to take refuge. I'm just going to press on ahead, because otherwise I have to fight some snakes. Ahead, you see a wooden bridge stretching over a dirty river. Various bits of rubbish are floating down to the sea on its black surface, and you squirm at the sight of a human hand passing by. The bridge supports the columns, and the columns reach high above, and you see skulls, both human and non-human, tied to them. The wind makes an eerie noise as it whistles through the bridge structures, reminding you of tortured souls crying out for help. Almost hidden from view is a small flight of steps going down underneath the bridge from where you are standing. A one-legged man carrying a sack is crossing the bridge from the northern bank. If you wish to climb down the steps, turn to 329. If you wish to wait to talk to the man, turn to 364. Well, I know where I'm going. We've all seen this before. If you've been watching the channel before and you've seen this book played, we know that Nicodemus lives under the bridge. So we're going to go and see Nicodemus. The smell by the watershed is terrible. Above you hear the sound of footsteps crossing the wooden bridge. Built into the foundations of the bridge is a wooden hut. Drawn curtains obstruct your view into the hut, but you know you are not welcome when you read the words "Keep Out" painted on the door in large red letters. You draw in a deep breath and knock the door. You hear muttering and the shuffling of feet, and suddenly the door is thrown open. Before you stands a white-haired old man with a long beard, wearing long white robes. He looks at you sternly and says, "Explain yourself to Nicodemus." You are elated at finding Nicodemus and tell him about Zanbar Bone's reign of terror in the town of Silverton, and why Owen Caroliff asked you to find his old friend to help them. Nicodemus frowns and walks back inside his hut, telling you to follow him. He sits down in a rocking chair and starts to speak in a calm voice. "I am old and tired and wish for no more adventure. I live here under Singing Bridge in Port Blacksand to escape the pleas for aid from people fallen on hard times, hence no one bothers me. But I do wish to help my old friend Owen. I will tell you how I defeated the Night Prince, Zanbar Bone. Listen carefully. Remember, you may only defeat him after sunset. In daylight hours, he exists on another plane. No doubt he will have his servants to protect him. But should you get past them, you will need something special to deal with Bone himself. To protect yourself from his entrancing stare, you must have a white unicorn in a yellow sun tattooed on your forehead. Normal weapons won't harm him. First, you must shoot him through the heart with a silver arrow. This will paralyze him, but not kill him. Then you must quickly rub the ground compound of black pearl, hag's hair, and lotus flower in his open eyes. With luck, he will decay before you in seconds. If your arrow misses, I am afraid you will die the moment he touches you. The items for the compound can all be found here in Port Blacksand if you search hard enough. I regret I cannot accompany you. Nicodemus then draws you a map of how to reach Zanbar Bone's guarded tower from Port Blacksand. He stands up, shakes your hand, and wishes you well. You leave his hut, climb the steps, and cross the bridge over Catfish River. Bridge Street continues north a short distance before ending at a junction. If you wish to walk west down Harbour Street, turn to 91. If you wish to turn east down Candle Street, turn to 238. Yeah, I got the girl, not the pair. Yeah, I read that. The extra 10 was for... Is the people... What? Is that? The extra 10 was for... Is the people... people who preferred bugs in the dress. Huh? I don't understand what that means, goat. The extra 10 was for... is the people who preferred bugs in the dress. Oh, Bugs Bunny, yes, it was Bugs. I remember. I was thinking, what, like ants in your pants, bugs in your dress? What the fuck are you talking about? Nevertheless, anyway, we're gonna go down Candle Street. So, yes, we're on the north side of Port Blacksand at the moment. We're going to go down Candle Street. On the right side of the street, you see a small alleyway between two houses. The alley soon ends at a doorway with 6 skulls painted on it, 1 black and 5 white. If you wish to walk down the alley and open the door, turn to 27. If you would rather continue east, turn to 139. Well, we're going to continue east rather than go into that house because there's nothing of importance in there. It's a red herring. Walking along the street, you are suddenly halted by a plant pot smashing onto the cobblestones in front of you. You look to the left and see an open window. Inside, voices can be heard arguing. The door to the house is open. If you wish to enter the house to find out what the argument is about, turn to 113. If you would rather ignore the argument and continue east, turn to 375. Well, I don't get involved in other people's arguments unless I'm friends with them, and even then it's very, very limited. So yes, I watched Looney Tunes go, of course I did. So anyway, I'm going to ignore the argument completely and continue east. Eventually, oh dear, who was that? Let's have a look. Let's get on to old stream elements. It's Davyverse with a 10 with a £10 donation. That means we get to spawn a random enemy in the middle of nowhere. So we're going to roll for them. It's not a were-rabbit. Goat, give us the name of this monster. What's this monster's name gonna be? No, actually, Davyverse, you get to choose because you donated. Sorry, Goat. You get to choose because you donated. What's the name of this monster gonna be? And thank you so much for the £10 donation. I truly appreciate all the support that you give to the channel. So thank you very much. £10 to spawn an enemy. What you gonna call him? I'll take a drink of me drink whilst you're trying to decide that. Wet me whistle a bit before this this enemy. So we're gonna roll. It'll be 1d6 plus 6. Or will it? Shall I just do 2d6? I think I'm gonna roll 2d6 instead to so we'll roll 2d6. That's 7. Got a skill of 7, and we'll do his stamina also, which is 2d6. A 5 and a 6, which is 11. Okay, so the monster has a skill of 7 and a stamina of 11. Note to self, Davey likes to watch Jack get beat. Indeed. He likes watching me beat off enemies. You killed Goat last. Let her pick. She didn't actually die. She's still in the game. But nevertheless, since Davey said you can pick, what do you want to call? What do you reckon we should call this monster? Goat. Who is it? It's a wild what has appeared. An owlbear, if she doesn't want to pick. An owlbear, that's awesome. Right. Let's get on with it then. Right, so it's 2d6 for the enemy. 5 and a 1 is 6. That gives them 13. And 2 for myself. I might put the dice over here actually right now, since I'm battling. 2d6 for myself. 4 and a 2 gives me 15, so win that round. We'll reduce their stamina down to 9. And I'm just going to continue with the next attack round. So 2d6 for the enemy. A 6 and a 2 gives them 15. And 2 for me. 6 and a 6. Can't grumble at that. 21. Get in. That's another 2 stamina we'll take away, so they're down to 7 stamina now. What are you saying in the chat? Let's what? Graboids. Okay, that's the name of this enemy. The graboids is that kind of like, you know, hemorrhoids, but ones that you can grab. I'll get me coat. I'd have gone for the things from the oh yes, is that what they're called? Is that what they're called? Graboids. So it's one of those things that comes out of the ground. It's like you know, the sandworm type thing. Okay, so we got a Tremors sandworm, which Goat has called a graboid, and that's what we're naming it. So where was I? Yes, we've deducted the stamina from the enemy. So 2d6 for the enemy in the next attack round. Here we go. The 1 and the 3 gives them 11. And 2 for myself. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me, dice roller. They're going to think that I've rigged it. No one ever gets this good RNG, okay? Just, you need to calm the fuck down right now. Alright. But nevertheless, a 6 and a 6 gives me 21 again. And so I win that attack round. I'll bring him down to 5. Needs to calm the fuck down, bro. I'd have thought a Wild Davyverse would be a logical name. Yes, well, you may have been correct. I should have just called it a Davyverse. A Wild Davyverse. But nevertheless, we're on it now. We're on it like a car bonnet. Let's do this. 2d6 for the enemy. A 6 and a 1. Gives them 14. And 2 for myself. Oh, come on. A 6 and a 5. Come on, fucking hell. This is too easy. Do you know what? I'm gonna end up giving this dude some back in a bit. Anyway, that's 20 for me. We'll bring his stamina down to 3. Maybe I should have rolled a d6 and added 6 instead of rolling 2d6, because then it would have kind of almost guaranteed that it would have been at least 6. It would have, yeah, maybe that's what I'm gonna do. I haven't lost any stamina. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to replay this battle, because I want to make it a little bit harder, just so that Davyverse gets his money's worth. So instead of a skill of 7, I'm gonna re-roll for this enemy. It's gonna be 1d6. I'm gonna roll again. I want to give him a little bit higher. It's okay. So 3 plus 6, that's 9. All right, that is equal to me now. That makes it a little bit harder. And I'm gonna re-roll his stamina score. A 6 and a 4. That's 10. Okay. So a wild graboid has appeared, got a skill of 9 and a stamina of 10. That makes it a little bit more difficult now. What do you reckon, guys? Do you think that's fair? Yeah, Davey is a little bit easy. All we gotta do is send him a... On the spot, at shit names, JackTarLad was inspired by Jack the Ripper. Brilliant. Right, okay, let's do this again. So, 2d6 for the enemy. 5 and a 1 gives them 15. And 2 for myself. A 6 and a 4 gives me 19. I win the attack round. We'll reduce them down to 8. I'm going to start the next attack round. Not rolling for luck. Oh, a 6 and a 5 gives them 20. And 2 for myself. What is that? That's a 6 and a 9 by the look of it. Sorry, a 6 and a 3 because it's showing up as a combined of 9 on my... What's it? So 6 and a 3 gives me 18, which means they win the attack round. It will reduce me down to 17. Okay, next attack round. 2d6 for the enemy. 6 and a 4 gives them 19. Ooh, fuck. And 2 for myself. Oh dear, a 1 and a 3. What have I done? I should have just kept it going the other way, shouldn't I? Gives me 13. Which means I lose the attack round. And we'll deduct another 2 from my stamina. Okay, 2d6 for the enemy. A 2 and a 1 gives them 12. And 2 for myself. 3 and a 5 gives me 17, which means I win that attack round. Excellent stuff. It will reduce them down to 6. Lovely. Do you know what? I think I'm going to actually roll for luck. So it's 2d6, isn't it, for luck? And I've got to get 11 or below. 5 and a 3, that's 8. So it definitely was lucky. Reduce them down to 4 and bring my luck down to 10. Start the next attack round. 2d6 for the enemy. A 3 and a 1 gives them 13. And 2 for myself. A 1 and a 6 means I win that attack round with 16 to 13. Going to reduce their stamina down to 2. And just start the next attack round by rolling 2d6 for the enemy. A 1 and a 4 gives them 14. Is Jack going to win this battle? Let's find out. A 1 and a 4, 14 to 14. They parry blows. So we're going to continue with the next attack round. 2d6 for the enemy. 3 and a 2 gives them 14 again. And 2 for myself. It's turned up as a 4. So 2 and a 2 Gives me 13. They win that attack round. Bring me down to 13 stam. And so next attack round, 2d6 for the enemy. A 1 and a 3. It's going to be 13 for them again, isn't it? Yeah, so 13. And then 2 for myself. 5 and a 4. I think that's done it. 5 and a 4 gives me 18. I win the attack round, and it means I have won the battle. Jolly good. Well, there we are. I did it, boys and girls. I managed to get through that battle with very little damage to myself. There we go. Lovely stuff. Anyone's for a pint and a kebab? Oh, I'd love one actually, mate. If you got a pint and a kebab that you can just sort of like force down the phone line, or you know, send by satellite link, that'd be great. Thank you. But he's telling you wants you to be at least a little hard to get. Yes, that's true. Is this now an undead Wild Davy? It is. He kind of got killed, and then I brought him back to life, but now he's completely dead. Told him, do that trick I like or it won't work. It's a swizz, a fix. It is. Yes, I can roll good RNG bus for myself. But nevertheless, I did it. Thank you so much, Davyverse, for the £10 donation, and I beat your enemy. I beat the generated enemy, so haha, tee-hee, haha. And so now I'm going to eat some provisions as well, just to bring me back up. How many do I need? It would have been 4 from 15, so I think I'm going to eat 1 provision. Bring me down to 9. And that'll bring me back up to 17. Lovely. There we are. Right. Let's get on with it. Let's get back on with it. Eventually the street comes to a dead end at a high stone wall. There are stone steps leading to the top of the wall. On the other side of the wall you can hear grunts, growls and cheering. If you wish to climb over the wall, turn to 40. If you wish to walk back to the junction and head west down Harbour Street, turn to 91. Well, it helps in this game to go over this wall. No loot, I'm afraid, mate. The random ones that get, you know... the random ones that get generated by you, they don't drop anything. They leave me an apple, and not the kind you can eat. They shit. Everyone shits himself just as they die, and so that's what happens. He voids his bowels, and that's the loot that he leaves me. This is going to get clipped. Now, if we'd been smart, we'd have made it a snake. That way, we could all have watched Jack beat Davy's snake live on YouTube. Yes, goat. Yes. Anyway, we're going to climb over this wall. From the top of the wall, you see that it encircles a group of brown creatures playing some kind of game with a wooden stick and a small leather ball. One of the creatures has just hit the ball and is running towards a creature from the other team who has his foot on a cloth bag. You realise that these creatures are bays playing their favourite game, baseball. Get it? They're bays and they're playing baseball with a ball and a bat. It's baseball, never mind. If you wish to join their game, turn to 168. If you would rather climb back down the wall, return to the junction and head west down Harbour Street, turn to 91. Well, there's no point being up here if I'm not going to play the game, so let's play the game. The bays have difficulty in explaining themselves, but you manage to understand that one of the other team is going to throw the ball at you, and you are handed the wooden stick and told that if you hit the ball over the wall, you win the game for them. And so now I have to roll 2 dice. If the number rolled is equal to or less than my skill score, I hit the ball powerfully in the middle of the bat, watch it soar over the wall, and turn to 3, 5, 9. If the number rolled is greater than my skill score, the ball goes whistling by my midriff as I swing, and a voice behind you calls, "You're out!" So here we go then, let's roll 2d6. It's got to be less than my skill score, or it's got to be my skill score or less. A 3, there we go. My skill score is a 9, as we know, so there we go. I was lucky enough to score a 3 on that one. Don't call him Jack off for no reason. Okay, I'm done there. Is that because of Davey Versus comment, or because you're done making the beat 'em off jokes? Anyway, it looks like I win the game. All the bays on your side rush over to you and slap your hands with theirs. They are overjoyed at their victory. Supporters run over and start handing you gifts. Eventually you manage to wriggle free of your admirers and find a place to sit down and inspect your gifts. You've been given 8 gold pieces, a bottle containing a clear liquid labelled Potion of Mind Control, a silver flute, a bunch of bananas, a piece of chalk, and an eye patch. You eat the bananas, add 2 stamina points, then you place the rest of the items in your backpack, and you climb over the wall before the bays start another game. Okay, well that's a lot of things to add to my adventure sheet, so let's get on it. So I've got 8 gold pieces, Potion of Mind Control, so let's do that first. So I've got 26 gold pieces. I've got a pot of mind font. Hello, you cont. What else was it? I'm eating the bananas, which gives me 2 stamina back, so I'm back up to my initial stam again. What else? Silver flute, piece of chalk, and an eye patch. Silver flute, chalk, eye patch. I don't know what any of those have got to do with the rest of the game, but nevertheless, there we go. Silver flute, chalk, eye patch, Potion of Mind Control, and 8 gold pieces. Yes, it's the one time in Bandcamp Flute. You don't want to play that one. Yeah. Ugh. Anyway, yes, that one. Ugh. Moving swiftly on. So, yes. And so we walk back to the junction and head west along Harbour Street, turn to 91. You pass a beggar in the street. He's sitting in the gutter and holds an empty tin in his hand. If you wish to toss a gold piece into his tin, turn to 332. If you'd rather walk past him, turn to 124. Well, I'm going to walk past him. I don't want to give him any of my money. Go stuff yourself, you old git. A narrow alleyway runs south off the street between 2 houses. If you wish to walk down the alleyway, turn to 326. If you would rather continue along Harbour Street, turn to 180. Well, I think I'm going to continue along Harbour Street. Ahead you hear the noisy clatter of galloping hooves on the cobblestones. You hear the noise of wooden wheels and an urging voice followed by the crack of a whip. Someone is rapidly approaching in a horse-drawn carriage. If you wish to see who it is, turn to 344. If you wish to rather hide out of sight behind a barrel and watch the carriage pass by, turn to 34. Well, I know what happens if I stand around and see who it is. I lose 2 stamina points because they crack me with the fucking whip. So I'm going to hide behind the barrel. The carriage thunders by, and you see that it's a driver urging on 4 horses as though his life depended on it. As the noise of the carriage fades into the distance, you step out onto the street and continue west. The street gradually starts to run downhill. The houses end at a tavern called the Black Lobster, and the street opens out onto a quayside. A stone jetty runs out to sea, and tied to it is an old galleon. It's flying the Skull and Crossbones and is probably one of the many pirate ships that anchor in Port Blacksand to offload their booty. Harbour Street turns right at the jetty and runs north parallel to the shore as far as you can see. If you wish to walk down the jetty and climb aboard the ship, turn to 399. If you wish to walk north up Harbour Street, turn to 78. Well, I actually want to go on board the pirate ship because there's something on here that I need. So a rope ladder hangs down from the stern of the ship to the jetty. There's also a gangplank leading up the side of the ship. If you wish to board the ship by climbing the rope ladder, turn to 87. If you wish to walk straight up the gangplank, turn to 294. I'm going to climb up the rope because walking up the gangplank doesn't work out too well. Minimum of risk, remember. And don't forget, boys and girls, Davyverse has already donated £10 and spawned an enemy, but my stats can be lowered with single donations up to £5 and a roll of the dice. So, for example, if you donate £1 to £5, you will roll a dice in the chat. Whip. You're asking me to say whip again. Whip. Cool whip. Cool whip. Anyway, yes, where was I? So you roll a die in the chat, and if it's a 1 or a 2, that'll be my skill deducted. If it's a 3 or a 4, it'll be my stamina deducted, and if it's a 5 or a 6, it'll be my luck deducted. So yes, that's the monetization options, and it will be the value of whatever you donate up to £5. £5. Anyway, I'm going up the rope ladder. You reach the top of the ladder and peer over the handrail to survey the ship's deck. There are 2 large masts rising into the air from the deck. Wooden boxes, barrels, and coils of rope all lie around, and one of the ship's crew stands guard at the top of the gangplank. See, that's why I didn't go up the gangplank. In the centre of the deck there is a small cabin with an open door. Through the door you see the stairs leading down to the lower decks. If you wish to inspect any of the wooden boxes and barrels, you'll have to deal with the pirate on guard. If you wish to creep along the deck to the stairs, turn to 50. Well, after I've defeated the guard, there's nothing in the barrels or the boxes, so I'm just going to creep along the deck and go down the stairs. The stairs lead down into the ship's cargo hold. It's empty. Opposite you, a corridor leads from the hold to 2 closed doors. You walk along the corridor and listen at the doors. From the door on your left, you hear a loud snoring. From the door on your right, you hear nothing. If you wish to open the door on your left, turn to 271. If you wish to open the door on your right, turn to 232. I'm going to go left first. Asleep in their bunks are 3 pirates. Their room is small and contains only clothing and a few personal possessions. It looks as if the pirates have been drinking and gambling. There is an uncorked bottle of rum, a mug, and a pack of cards on top of the barrel in the centre of the room. You see that one of the pirates is wearing a small leather pouch around his neck. If you wish to creep up and try to cut it loose, turn to 162. If you would rather close the door again and not take any risks, turn to 284. Well, this is a risk that I want to take. So, now I have to test my luck. If I'm lucky, I manage to cut the pouch loose without waking the pirates. If I'm unlucky, they'll wake up and we'll have to fight. So let's roll 2d6 for my luck, and I've got to beat 10. So it's got to be 10 or below. I should have said, not beat 10. It's got to be 10 or below on 2d6. A 5 and a 1, that makes it 6, and so I'm going to reduce my current luck down to 9. And yes, I was lucky. Well done, Jack. You did it. You were lucky. So we cut the pirate's doombity-doo from his neck. You tiptoe quietly out of the room, and in the corridor you open the pouch and find 6 black pearls. Nice, let's add those to the adventure sheet, and plus I have to add 2 luck points. This is all coming up trumps for me, isn't it? And I don't mean I'm on the Epstein list. So, here we go, black pearls. I should say according to Elon Musk, because I don't know if anyone's been watching in the news, but Trump and Elon are having a little bit of a lover's spat at the moment. So yeah, Elon's acting a little bit like a disgruntled ex-employee at the moment. And Trump is whipping back. Anyway, it says, if you have not done so already, you may open the other door, turning to 232. The door opens into a small room, in the center of which stands a steaming tub of hot water. If you wish to hide behind the door inside the room to see who is about to take a bath, turn to 12. Let's get in there. After a few minutes, you hear footsteps coming down the corridor. The door opens and a man walks into the room wearing nothing but a towel around his fat stomach. You watch as he drops the towel and lowers himself gently into the tub with a loud sigh. I love being Abe. Because that's what he says, because it's Abe. If you wish to surprise him by drawing your sword and uttering a loud turn to 176. If you'd rather creep out of the room back into the corridor while he submerges himself, turn to 383. Well, I'm gonna surprise him with a loud You tell the worried bather that despite your hatred for pirates, you will not harm him if he cooperates with you. You ask him if he has any of the items that you are searching for, but he replies that as captain of a pirate ship, I don't need such things. Yar. You press the blade of your sword against his fat neck to make sure he's not lying. He looks terrified and assures you that he's telling the truth, but then says, but I do know where you can get a silver arrow. Ben Barryman the silversmith will make you anything in silver at a price. You can find him on Clark Street. Making a mental note of the information, you leave the shivering captain alone in his room, locking the door behind you. Outside in the corridor, you may either open the door to your left if you've not done so already, or leave the ship and continue your search of Port Blacksand. Well, we've done everything that we need to in here, so it's continue the old, yes, Abe, of course. It's you! Captain Abe, captain of the good ship. What's your ship's name? It's Atom Grey. Welcome, Atom Grey. Thank you for joining us here in the chat. What's your ship's name, Abe? The captain of the good ship. What's it called? Atom Grey, just because you've just joined us, today we're doing a little bit of a different kind of show. My guest had to cancel on me, so I'm doing a tutorial of the City of Thieves today. I'm showing you the real way to get through it, and it's with a little bit of a twist. You can affect the show by either spawning enemies with a £10 donation, spawn random enemies which we roll for on the ad hoc, or you can affect my stats by donating up to £5, and we will roll the dice to determine which stat gets affected. It's Captain Abe of the good ship HMS Ding Dong. Anyway, so where to next? What do we want to do? I think we'll go north up Harbour Street. The houses on the right hand side of the street are small and weather-beaten. Old women sit outside on the front steps cleaning fish and mending fish nets. They are large and jolly, talking to each other and frequently rolling about, bellowing with laughter. The fishermen do not appear to be at home. The street and quayside come to an end at a great iron anchor. You turn round and walk back towards the junction. If you wish to stop with to talk with the women, turn to 320. If you wish to ignore them and walk straight back to a junction, turn to 369. Well, I've never passed up a chance to get a bit of lady action, so I'm going to turn to 320. The jolly fishwives' plump cheeks are round and shiny as red apples. You ask if they own any of the items you need, but they all frown and shake their heads together. Then one tells you that there is a tale that hags have been seen disappearing down sewers to catch rats for their stew pots. However, she has never seen a hag herself. Well, surely every time she looks in the mirrors. You decide to leave the ladies and then walk back to the junction and left into Clog Street. So, hags going down sewers. Yes. I'm game mastering myself. I am going to master my ass. Kinky. Yes, indeed, Atom. Resist urge to make dirty jokes for Atom's benefit. See, it wasn't just me. No, you're absolutely right. It's not just you. And there's Atom Grey with his goats. Show me your butt. You get it? Butt. Goats. Never mind. Quit butting in. Anyway. Clog Street is very narrow and lined with terraced cottages on the occasional shop. To your left, you see what looks to be a small boy lying face down on the cobblestones, groaning loudly. A hood is pulled over his head and you cannot see his face. A wooden hoop and stick lie by his side. If you wish to stop and help, turn to 72. If you would rather walk on, turn to 317. Well, there's a reason why I actually want to stop and talk to him. I know that this isn't a child, and that it's actually a goblin. I know this because I'm the games master, but he has things that I want. Well, I mean, I don't really have to. I've got enough gold, but he has things that I want that I might need a little bit later. So we're going to do a battle, boys and girls. As you bend down to help the injured boy, he suddenly rolls over and you see the flashing blade of a dagger before your eyes. The boy is in fact a goblin thief, and you must fight him for your life. The goblin has a skill of 5 and a stamina of 4, so let's bloody do this then. Here we go. Skill of 5, stamina of 4. Shouldn't be too difficult to get through. So let's start the first battle round by rolling 2 d6 for the enemy. A 6 and a 1 gives the goblin thief 12. And 2 for myself. A 3 and a 4 gives me 16, which means I win that attack round. And do I roll... Do I just kill him straight away? And try and roll my luck and hope I don't get 2 6s? Nah, I'm just going to do the next attack round. So 2d6 for the enemy. A 2 and a 5. Gives him 12 again. And 2d6 for myself. A 5 and a 5. I think that'll do it. There we are, 19. I've killed the little goblin thief. That was a short and sweet little battle, weren't it, boys and girls? There we are. Jolly good. Is that a goblin or a scout or just a scout kid? Why? Because of the knife. Yeah. He's like, hey, what are you doing around here with that shirt on? Capital culture. What's the death count so far? I haven't died yet because I know my way through this. I know how to do this, Steve. Have you not been watching? Did you fall asleep? Have you been watching someone else's stream, you Judas? Is that what you've been doing? You haven't had my stream on because you've been watching someone else's. Have you been watching that Paul Hadouken? He can go and fuck himself. Yeah. Look at my butt. You can see my butt. No, you can't. You've got to sit and watch while you eat your dinner, goat. You can't leave. Okay? But anyway, no, on a serious note, hey all, dinner is about done, so I've got to scoot. Everyone have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out in the chat, Goat. It's been a pleasure to see ya. Take care. See you soon. Yes, Atom. Goblin these nuts. Ha! Got him. Nah, I died and then I was hungry. Fair play, bro. Fair play. Anyway, we won against the goblin. Get back to the book quickly. I won, so turn to 208. The goblin's pockets contain 2 gold pieces, a clove of garlic, and some old knuckle bones. Yeah, everyone loves a good old knuckle bone. So 2 pieces of gold, which brings me up to 28. Knuckles. Knuckle bones and what was the other thing? Garlic. Garlic and bread. Garlic bread. And we go back up Clog Street. One of the shops to your left is a candle maker's. There are many different coloured candles burning brightly in the window. If you wish to enter the shop and get raped, turn to 241. If you wish to continue east, turn to 280. Atom Grey saying take care, Goat, and Eclectic Goat is saying finally, I've got 5 more zombie movies to get through for my history video. That's what we do at supper now. Nice. Well, I hope you enjoy your supper, you and the husband and perhaps the goats. Are you having one of the goats for dinner? Anyway, enjoy your zombie movie, enjoy your dinner. Thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure to have you here in the chat, and we'll see you soon, Goat. Thanks again. And thanks for being on last time as well. Pleasure to have you here. Anyway, so what are we going to do? There are different coloured candles burning brightly in the window. We're not going to go in the shop, because if we go in the shop we can buy some candles or we can get raped in the back of the shop. So further along the street is on the left is another shop. A sign outside reads Ben Borryman, silversmith. If you wish to enter the shop, turn to 213. Well, I do wish to enter the shop because I need to get a silver arrow. Various goat sounds, yes. Bar ram you. Garlic and bread. Garlic bread. That's madness, lad. Yes, good old Peter K. Good old Peter K. It's the future, I've tasted it. Let me just wet me whistle a bit. I'm getting a bit dry. Just, you know, I need a bit of lubrication. I'm getting a bit dry from time to time. You know, when you go on and on and on for a bit, sometimes it just tends to get a little bit dry. So you need to lube it up, do you get what I mean? Anyway, we're going to talk to the silversmith. He says a man wearing a white apron is sitting at a bench, busily polishing a silver goblet, and there are several silver objects in a glass cupboard secured by an iron grill at the back of the shop. You may talk to the silversmith, attack him with your sword, or leave the shop and continue east. Don't attack him, don't leave the shop, talk to the fucking silversmith, because you need the arrow. You ask Ben Borryman if he has any silver arrows for sale. He replies that he does not, but will make you one for the cost of 10 gold pieces or 2 magic items. Well, I've got 10 gold pieces. In fact, I've got 28 gold pieces. If you can afford his asking price, turn to 85. So I'm going to turn to 85. Let's get my adventure sheet back up. Let's take away those 10 gold pieces. So now I have 18. And let's put a silver arrow in my inventory. There we go. Jolly good. And then it carries on to say, you pay the silversmith and wait patiently while he makes a silver arrow for you. Finally, he presents you with it and assures you that it will be completely accurate in flight. You thank him for this trouble and leave his shop. Outside, you set off east once again. Turn to 100. You soon arrive at a junction. If you wish to turn north into Tower Street, turn to 127. If you wish to continue east into Stable Street, turn to 246. Well, I'm going to continue east into Stable Street. Yeah, I know, right, Abe? I am a rich git. Yeah. No. Don't need to speak the lingo, mate. I am considerably richer than you. Anyway, as you walk wearily down the narrow cobbled street, you are suddenly confronted by a little old man who dashes out of one of the houses. He pulls a dirty bottle out of a canvas bag. He speaks to you. You can't help staring at the large wart on his nose with its tuft of hair. He smiles and asks if you would like to pay 2 gold pieces for a drink of his wonderful healing potion. If you wish to pay for a drink, turn to 98. If you'd rather keep going east, turn to 363. Well, I would lose 2 gold pieces. I would gain 3 stamina points and 1 luck. Let's have a look at my adventure sheet quickly. You see, I'm full up on stamina and I'm full up on luck, so I'm not going to take this dude's drink at the cost of 2 gold pieces, so I would rather keep going east. Thank you very much. In the middle of the street, you see a large manhole cover. If you wish to lift the manhole cover to see where it leads, turn to 48. Now, everyone who's played this fucking game before on this channel always goes past the manhole cover, or I think Greenhead Anti-Liberal lifted the manhole cover, and then in the next one it tells you that it smells down there, and she was like, nope, and closed the manhole cover again. But we're not going to do that today. We're going down there. So yes, if you wish to lift the manhole cover to see where it leads to, turn to 48. So that's where we're going. There is an iron ladder secured to the rim of the hole, descending into a tunnel below. It's dark and very unpleasant. A very unpleasant smell rises up from below. If you wish to climb down the ladder, turn to 321. If you wish to replace the manhole cover and continue east, turn to 205. In fact, on Greenhead Anti-Liberal's stream, there's one of the comments which just simply says, replace the manhole cover, and then it's a crying emoji. I never leave a manhole untouched, especially the rim. You've got to rim the manhole. If you don't rim the manhole, how are you supposed to know how it smells? Yeah? Anyone? You can blurp that. That's easily blurpable, that is. If you don't rim the manhole, how do you know if it smells? Anyway, we're going to climb down the ladder. At the bottom of the ladder, you realise, much to your disgust, that you're standing in a sewer. Of course, like, because you didn't know before, right? You open up a hole in the ground, it stinks to the high heavens, but it's only when you go down there, you're like, well, blimey, I'm in a sewer of all the places I could have found myself. Here I am in a fucking sewer. Anyway, and what a wonderful smell you've discovered. There are torches along the tunnel wall, giving a very dim light, and droplets of water make eerie sounds as they fall into the sewage water. If you wish to walk north along the tunnel, turn to 356. If you wish to walk south, turn to 118. Yes, Steve. Bloody hell, indeed. I'm going to go north, anyway. But now we've got a bit of a big battle ahead of us. So ahead you hear the sound of a squealing and frantic splashing. Long shadows are cast by moving objects coming towards you, and then you see the sleek glistening shapes of 3 giant rats only a few meters away from you. You draw your sword hastily and fight each of the rats in turn. So let's get back to battle music. Let's do it. Here we go. And let's get the adventure sheet up. The first rat has a skill of 4 and a stamina of 4. So let's deal with that one first. Skill of 4, stamina of 4. This one should be pretty easy. So let's roll for the first enemy, the first battle round. A 4 and a 2. Gives them 10. Delete these old scores. Gives them 10 and 2 for myself. That's turned out as a 6, even though it's crooked. It was a 2 and a 4. That gives me 15. I win that battle round. Jolly good. Bring him down to 2 stamina. Let's roll again for the enemy. 2d6. 2 and a 4, it's the same again. Bloody hell, there you go. So that gives them a 10. Two for myself. 6 and a 4, there we go. That'll do that one. That's one enemy down. With 19 to 10. So the next rat has a skill of 5 and a stamina of 4. So 2d6 for the enemy. Here we go. A 5 and a 2. Gives them 12. And 2 for myself. A 1 and a 5 turned out as 6. Gives me 15. So I win the battle round and reduce their stamina to 2. And another 2d6 for the enemy on the next battle round. 6 and a 6. Oh, fucking hell. I'm not going to beat that one this round, am I? 6 and a 6 gives them 17. I'd have to get double 6s myself, I think, wouldn't I? Oh no, I have slightly higher skill than them, so I don't have to roll as high. But a 4 and a 3. They got 17. 4 and a 3 gives me 16, so they did win that attack round. They will reduce my stamina down to 17. Next attack round. A 1 and a 4 gives them 10 again. And 2 for myself. A 3 and a 4 gives me 16, which means I win the attack round. I've beaten that enemy, and so the next one is a skill of 5 and a stamina of 5. So 2d6 for the enemy. A 2 and a 1. Give them 8. That's going to be pretty easy to beat. 2 for myself, 5 and a 3. Gives me 17 to 8. Bring their stamina down to 3. I'll roll 2d6 for the enemy for the next attack round. A 4 and a 2 gives them 11. And 2 for myself. 4 and a 2 again gives me 15. I win the attack round. We'll bring their stamina down to 1. I'm going to roll another 2 on the next attack round. There we go. 5 and a 3 gives them 13. And 2 for myself. Hopefully this will do it. Yeah, 6 and a 5. No doubt about that. I have definitely won that round. Gives me 20. It means I win the battle round. I have won the battle against the 3 rats. Jolly good show, ripping good laugh, all that kind of stuff. Yes, we did it. I win the battle. Job's good 'un. So let's move on. I won, so turn to 28. While you were fighting the giant rats, you thought you saw someone or something skulking in the shadows ahead. If you wish to continue further north along the tunnel, turn to 265. If you would rather turn round and walk back to the entrance hole, turn to 104. But actually, I want to carry on going, don't I? Because what was it the old fishwives told us? There are hags down in the sewer. Your sword is still dripping with the blood of the rats. You walk further along the tunnel. The ledge you are walking along is narrow and slippy, and you have to tread carefully so not as to fall into the slow-flowing sewage channel. The tunnel gradually bends round to the right, and as you follow it round, the silence is suddenly shattered by the sound of running feet and a wailing scream. Coming straight at you, wild-eyed, with flailing arms and contorted, uttering demon sorcery, is a white-haired old woman dressed in rags. She is a hag. Do you possess the potion of mind control? I do have this item. If you have this item, turn to 82. Before the hag can complete her spell, you reach into your backpack and take out the bottle containing the potion. You gulp down the liquid and feel its effect immediately. The hag is still mouthing her vile sorcery, but you cannot hear her. Safe from her evil, you draw your sword and step forward. You grab hold of her matted hair and cut a clump from her head. She writhes and kicks and spits at you. At this close range, you can see fresh blood on her face. No doubt she could not wait to cook some of the rats she had killed. Despite your repulsion, you are excited about having gained one of the items necessary to defeat the Night Prince. You throw the hag into the sewer and walk back to the entrance hole. Jolly good. So I'm going to take away the potion of mind control and add the hag's hair. So now I have the pearls and the hag's hair. There we are. Pearls and the hag's hair. Right. Back at the entrance hole, you may either climb up the ladder and back to the street. Yeah, we'll do that because we don't need to go south because it's a red herring. After replacing the manhole cover, you set off again east. Everything seems a little too quiet and you begin to feel nervous. Ahead, you see that Stable Street turns sharply to the left. If you wish to walk around the corner, turn to 44. If you wish to walk back to the junction and turn right into Tower Street, turn to 127. So we've returned to the street. I've got plenty of gold. I don't really need to, if I go around the corner, I'm going to end up fighting the vagabonds. I don't have the throwing knife, and I'll only get 1 gold. But if I do defeat the vagabonds, it takes me to the White House, I think. No, I think if I go up Tower Street, I'll go up the White House anyway, so let's go to Tower Street. Just ahead of you, 3 men are involved in a fight. The 2 younger men appear to be attacking an older man with iron bars. If you wish to help the old man, turn to 177. No, I don't want to... Forget the brawling men. Tower Street makes it... Oh, okay, so where's the White House with the snake lady in it? I'm a little bit lost, Steve, yeah. Tower Street makes a sharp turn to the right, going east between tall buildings. An iron bridge crosses overhead between 2 of the buildings. You see movement on it. Small cloaked people are carrying laden sacks between the buildings, apparently in great hurry. If you wish to call out to them, turn to 251. If you wish to walk under the bridge and continue east, turn to 30. Yes, I think I'm just going to continue under the bridge. Under the bridge downtown is where I drew some blood. The Tower Street soon ends at a junction where it meets Stable Street running north and south. You decide to go north. Thanks for the choice. To your left you see a large wooden barn set back from the houses. 2 horses are tied to a post outside the barn and smoke rises from a crooked chimney on top its low flat roof. If you wish to look through the barn doors, turn to 25. If you would rather continue north, turn to 115. Well, what are you saying? The old man will cancel you later for not helping. Yeah, well, do you know what, mate? The bigger people have tried to cancel me. I'm going to continue walking north. Forget about what's in the barns. Don't need it. Coming towards you as fast as he is able, a man is in tattered rags with a ball and chain attached to his leg, is exhausted and collapses in your arms. His face is dirty and unshaven. With great difficulty he manages to that's supposed to say speak, to speak, saying, "Please cut me free, the guards are not far behind me. Now I've been locked in a dungeon for 2 years, but I managed to get a ton of my way out. I was robbed and unable to pay my taxes, so Lord Azor ordered that I should be jailed for 5 years. Please help me." Farther up the street you can see, you can hear shouting voices and then armed men come into view. If you want to cut through his chains with your sword, turn to 90. If you would rather hand him over to the town guards, turn to 274. Well, I've never been one to, you know, waste good swords on iron chains, so I'm going to turn this motherfucker over. The guards are pleased that you have caught their wanted man. They tell you that he is an escaped murderer. The chief guard hands you 5 gold pieces, saying, "Here is your reward, but you won't be getting another one. He won't escape again." You watch for a short while as they lead... Oh, Shadow, Crimson Shadow's here. Hello, mate. Good to see ya. Thanks for joining us in the chat. We're having a bit of a different one today, mate. We're having one where I do it's a tutorial stream, basically. I'm teaching you how to get through the proper way through the book, the City of Thieves, which several people have already played on the channel. So I thought that it might be a good opportunity to, you know, actually talk through this one, because this one's one of my favourite books anyway. So nevertheless, I've got 5 gold pieces, so I'm going to add that to my my total 5 gold pieces. I've got 18 plus the 5, that's 23, so I've got 23 gold pieces now. You don't need to see it on the screen, I just take my word for it. Anyway, on with the game. So he won't escape again. You watch for a short while as they lead the shouting murderer away before continuing north along Stable Street. Turn to 22222. On the right hand side of the houses, on the right hand side, the houses are separated from the street by a wooden fence with shrubs, trees and bushes and flowers behind it. There is a turnstile in the middle of the fence, by the side of which is a sign reading Public Gardens, entry fee 1 gold piece. If you wish to go into the gardens, turn to 370. I will go in there because there's something that I want. I'm turning to 370 and I am removing 1 from my gold. So now I have 22. No, not 222. Jesus Christ. Talk about OPDM. Eh? You place the coin in the slot and walk through the turnstile. Although the flowers and shrubs are not outstanding, you are nevertheless surprised that such a place exists in Port Blacksand. The gardens are not very large, extending back some 60 meters to where some houses back on to them. There are 2 paths to follow, one of which runs around the edge of the gardens, and one that leads directly into the center, where there are some topiary. Each shrub has been cut into the shape of an animal, and you decide to take a closer look. The path leads into a small paved area surrounded by animal-shaped shrubs. In the middle there is a stone plinth upon which sits a large earthen bowl containing flowers. There is a painted sign which reads, "Do not pick the flowers." The gardener is nowhere to be seen, and there is no one else about. If you wish to risk picking one of the flowers, turn to 14. If you would rather leave the gardens and continue north, turn to 133. Well, we're here already, so what would be the point in just leaving? So let's risk picking one of the flowers. As soon as you pluck one of the flowers, you hear the noise of rustling leaves. 3 of the animal-shaped hedges have uprooted themselves and are closing in on you. Do you have the ring of fire? Sometimes, it depends on how hot the curry was the night before, but not tonight. So I'll turn to 191. You draw your sword to defend yourself against the advancing leaf beasts. They all attack you at once, seemingly trying to crush and smother you. Treat the leaf beasts as a single creature, and they have a skill of 6 and a stamina of 6. So let's get back into battle mode. Here we go. So a skill of 6 and a stamina of 6. Right then, let's start rolling. Reading and rolling. That's the name of the game. Let's do this. 2d6 for the enemy. 5 and a 6. That's a pretty high roll, and it's the roll that was last rolled as well. It gives them 17. And 2 for myself. A 4 and a 3. Gives me 16. They win that attack round. Oh, fuck. Reduce my stamina down to 15. And 2d6 for the enemy. Let's go. 6 and a 4. Christ. Gives them 16. And 2 for myself. A 5 and a 1. Gives me 15. Oh Christ, they did it again. They won that battle round. Brings me down to 13. Shite. 2d6 for the enemy. What am I doing rolling this high for them now? Gives them 15. And then I'll roll 2 for myself. 6 and a 1. Gives me 16. I win that attack round, finally. We'll reduce their stamina down to 4. And I'm going to roll for my luck as well, see if we can do any more damage. 2d6. I've got to get 11 or below. I got a 10. Nice. Nicely done. I'll bring my current luck down to 10, and we'll bring their stamina down by another 2 to 2. And we'll roll for the next attack roll. 2d6 for the enemy. 6 and a 5. Christ almighty, what's going on this time? Giving them 17. And 2d6 for myself. 2 and a 3. Gives me 14. They win that attack round. Will bring my stamina down to 11. 2d6 for the enemy. 5 and a fucking 4. Christ, I'm gonna die, ain't I? This is where my journey ends. Your adventure ends here. Gives them 15. And 2d6 for myself. 5 and a 4 gives me 18. Now that's it. That's done it. I did it, boys. Let's put their stamina down to 0. I win against the Leaf Beasts. Fantastic stuff. There we go. It's done. It's dude. I win. Yada yada. Woohoo. Wonderful. So I've won against the Leaf Beasts. Clutching the... says if you win, you run back to the turnstile, still clutching the Lotus, and you make your getaway into Stable Street. Okay. The street ends at a junction with Mill Street, which runs east and west along the city wall. Looking east, you see a group of town guards marching towards you, and you decide to walk quickly along Mill Street. On your left, you see a narrow lane, and ahead of you, a young lad coming towards you, pushing a barrow laden with fruit. If you wish to walk down the lane, turn to 182. If you wish to buy some fruit from the barrow boy, turn to 160. Well, I think that's it now. Like, oh no, I've got to get a tattoo, haven't I? Okay, yeah. Fix. Look, I'm sorry, Abe. Don't get jealous. Don't get jealous. I know I am the dungeon master after all, but I'm still playing the same rules as what you guys played. I've made it easy on myself because I know my way through the book already. I'm trying to teach you how to play the book the most boring way ever. But I know you think it's fixed, mate, but it's really not. Those dice rolls were not all in my favor. Anyway, we're going to ignore the barrow boy. The lane ends at a small shop. On the glass pane door is a sign painted Jimmy Quicktint. Jimmy Quicktint. The best tattooist in town. A tiny bell rings as you push the door open, and a fat man wearing a purple silk smiles in greeting. You are surprised to see that his arms, hands and feet, even his face, are completely covered in colourful tattoos. He grins and says, "Practice what you preach." You tell him that you require a yellow sun to be tattooed on your forehead with a white unicorn in the centre of it. He replies that it's a simple task but will cost you 10 gold pieces. If you can afford his high price, turn to 279. So I'm going to turn to 279 because I can afford his price and I need the fucking tattoo anyway. So 10 gold pieces deducted from 22 equals 12. So that's that done. He takes the money. Excuse me. He takes the money and motions you to sit down on a wooden stool. After a long and painful process of repeatedly pricking your forehead with a sharp needle, he applies the indelible inks. You look in the mirror on the wall and you find your new appearance somewhat strange. You shrug your shoulders and leave the shop. You then walk back up the lane and turn left into Mill Street, 307. Walking towards you along the street are two huge guards wearing the black uniform of Lord Azur. As they get closer, they see you, and they are trolls, brutal mercenaries employed by Lord Azur as the Imperial elite guards. To your right, there is a tree which reaches almost to the top of the city wall. If you wish to risk walking past the trolls, turn to 290. If you wish to climb the tree in order to get over the wall, turn to 11. So when Greenhead Anti-Liberal played this... Shut up, Abe. Only 99% of the rolls were. I'll have a word with RNG Bus and see what he can do for you next time you come on. I might actually ask you to come on in one of the next weeks. I'm thinking about having Comics Dad on next week. I haven't gotten in contact with him yet, but I am thinking about having him on next week. Anyway, walking towards you. Yeah, I've done all that. So I am going to risk walking past the trolls. When green-haired anti-liberal played this game, she climbed the tree in order to get over the wall. She didn't buy the climbing rope, and so she jumped and broke her fucking neck, basically. And she used her backtrack, which I haven't needed to use any of my lifelines, but she used her backtrack, and she went back to the previous page where she didn't jump, and instead she faced off against the guards that were like pouring out of the doors on top of the wall, and she still fucking died. And so that was where her adventure ended. It were a good one. But I'm going to risk walking past the trolls, so here we go. You try to nonchalantly walk past the trolls, but they suspect something odd about you and call you over to them. They ask where you live, and you reply that you are in Port Blacksand on a trading mission. The trolls laugh scornfully and ask to see your pass. If you have the merchant's pass, turn to 219. If you do not, turn to 335. Well, I do have the merchant's pass, so I'm going to go to 219. The larger of the two trolls sees you and says that his name is Sourbelly and that it's his duty to track down unwelcome visitors in Port Blacksand. He looks at the pass and says, "You don't look much like a trader to me. Are you one of those fancy folk who've been attending the spy sales in Pepper Street?" If you wish to answer yes, turn to 150. If you wish to answer no, turn to 393. So at this point, I'm going to answer no. Because if I answer yes, he turns around and says something like, you one of them fancy... he says, it's not on Pepper Street. There is no Pepper Street or something like that. Anyway, so I'm going to answer no. And then you tell the trolls that you are a weapon maker and have been to the market to sell daggers to a stallholder there. Sourbelly sneers at you and says, "Well, in that case, you've finished your business in Port Blacksand. Allow us to escort you out the city gates." If you wish to let them throw you out of the city, turn to 156. If you wish to attack the trolls, turn to 73. Well, I'm not going to attack the trolls. I'm just going to let them throw me out the city. That's fine. And welcome to Bat Sauce. It's a pleasure to see you. Meep, meep. Good to see you, buddy. What is everyone else saying in the chat? This is all because of the manhole thing, isn't it? Maybe. Anyway, it's a pleasure to see you, Bat Sauce. Thank you for joining us here on this wonderful Thursday evening. So, standing on either side of you, the trolls march you along Mill Street until you reach the city's north gate at the junction with Goose Street. They tell the two guards on duty not to let you back into Port Blacksand. They give you a forceful boot up the backside, and you land sprawled on a dusty road outside. Do you have all of the items required to slay the Night Prince? I do. If you have them all and you have been tattooed, turn to 201. Now, this is further than anyone has gotten in this book on this show currently. So this is the sort of, we're past the point of like no return now. This is the final bit, and I've got to try and get it done in like half an hour. So following Nicodemus's map, you start your long walk north of the guarded tower of Zanbar Bone, the Night Prince. You walk through the woods and fields. You are able to relax a little in the pleasant countryside and breathe the fresh air with its wonderful scents. As the light fades, you decide to camp under a huge elm tree. You cook a meal of stewed rabbit and mushrooms before settling down. Load long. That's not right. Settling down and having a long deep sleep. Add 2 stamina points. Am I in need of stamina points? Well, actually, yes, I ought to do that right now. So I'm going to add 2 stamina points. So that brings me up to 13. I'm also going to eat another 2 provisions because I want to be up to me full health. So there we go, 19. We're back up to full stamina now, and I'm down to 7 provisions. I've still got my potion of luck. I've still got 10 luck currently, so I'm not lacking in any sense of the word. Anyway, so in the morning you look around for a yew tree and cut a long branch from it with which to make a bow to fire the silver arrow. As you test the bow for accuracy, you are suddenly aware of a white dove sitting on a low branch nearby. There is a small piece of paper attached to its foot, which it lets you remove without flying off. There is a message on the paper which reads, "Dear friend, I'm afraid I must be getting too old to be of use to anybody. I regret to have misinformed you about the compound needed to kill Zanbar Bone. You must use only 2 of the 3 ingredients that I told you, but I cannot remember which 2. I can only suggest you try hag's hair and black pearls together, or hag's hair and lotus flower together, or the black pearls and lotus flower together. Apologies. Good luck. N. Ma N. You throw the message on the ground and curse. You change your mind a dozen times before making a decision. Finally, you make your choice and grind the 2 ingredients together on a flat stone. You place the compound in a leather pouch, hoping that you have made the correct decision. You set off again, but it's not before long before your surroundings become less welcoming. The trees are twisted or stunted and there are no birds to be heard. You must be approaching the domain of the Night Prince. Suddenly, to your left, you hear the rustling and grunting in the bushes. It is a wandering monster which has been attracted by your scent. Roll 1 die and consult the table below to see which creature has appeared. Fight this creature as usual. So we've got a table here, and we're going to roll 1d6, and whichever it ends up being, that's what we've got to fight. So it's a 2, so it's a giant snake. It's a snake. Excellent. Right, well, let's get on with it then. It's got a stamina of 6 and a skill of 6. Let's do this then. Stamina of 6 and a skill of 6. Let's do it. Roll 2d6 for the enemy on the first battle round. Okay, a 4 and a 1 gives them 11. Let's delete these old scores. Gives them 11 and 2 for myself. A 2 and a 1 gives me 12, which means I win that attack round, and we'll reduce their stamina to 4. Next attack round, 2d6 for the enemy. A 3 and a 1 gives them 10. And 2 for myself. A 6 and a 5. Well, I've definitely won that attack round. 6 and a 5. 20 against their 10. Reduce their stamina to 2. And 2 more d6 for the enemy. A 1 and a 4. And 2 for myself. A 1 and a 4 again. So that's 11 against 14. And there we go. That's it. That was a really, really quick round. No worries. No problem. But I have got something a little bit harder coming up. Yeah, it's going to be blurped. But yes, I think on the next page, in fact, it's... it gets a shite side worse. Anyway, 138. If you fought the ape man, turn to 312. If you fought any of the other creatures, turn to 238. Well, that was it. There is nothing to be useful to be found on the dead creature, so you decide to press northwards. Turn to 217. You walk all day until you reach the hill shown on Nicodemus' map upon which the Night Prince Tower stands. All is quiet and there is an unpleasant smell of decay in the air. Shadows start to creep along the ground as the moon rises into the night sky and you see the foreboding silhouetted shape of Zanbar Bones Tower pointing up into the sky like a big old black finger, like King Kong's finger sticking right up in the air. You check all of your possessions before drawing your sword and marching towards the arched wooden entrance door. Suddenly you hear a shrill howl and swing round to see two pairs of eyes staring at you. They belong to Moondog's Zanbar Bones trained killer hounds. Fight them one at a time. These are big bad bastards and they are going to fuck me up seriously. They're going to get on top of me and do some dirty things. So here we go. The first Moondog has a skill of 10, sorry, a skill of 9 and a stamina of 10. So this is going to be difficult. I'm just saying right now, this is going to be difficult for me. Right then, let's get on with it. 2d6 for the enemy to start the first attack round. Holy shit. I couldn't have rolled a worse one. That gives them 20. And 2 for myself. 4 and a 5. Gives me 18. They win that attack round. Lose 2 stamina points, bring me down to 17. 2d6 for the enemy. A 4 and a 1 gives them 14. And 2 for myself. A 2 and a 6 gives me 17. I win that attack round. So we'll deduct 2 from theirs, and it's down to 8. Right, 2d6 for the enemy. A 6 and a 4 gives them 19. And 2 for myself. Oh Christ. A 1 and a 2. Gives me 12, which means they win that attack round, and now I'm down to 15 stamina. On to the next attack round. 2d6 for the enemy, a 2 and a 3. Gives them 14, which ain't too bad. And then 2d6 for myself. 3 and a 6. Gives me 18, which means I win that attack round. And I'm actually going to roll for my luck as well, so I need to get 10 or below. I've got a 6, so I'll reduce my luck to 9, and I'm going to not only take away the 2 for them originally, which brings them down to 6, but the extra 2 for the luck roll, which brings them down to 4. Right, next attack round. 2d6 for the enemy. A 1 and a 4. Gives them 14 again. And then 2 for myself. Oops. I'm going to take the first one, which was 4 and 2. And I get 15. Which means I win that attack round. Will bring them down to 2. And I'll start the next attack round. I don't want to use all my luck, even though I could use a lot of it. 4 and a 2 again gives them 15. And 2 for myself. A 4 and a 4. Excellent. Gives me 17. I win that attack round. I've killed the first Moondog. And it's on to the next one. And the next one actually has a skill of 11 and a stamina of 9. So this one's going to be the harder one to kill. So 11 and 9. Let's start the next attack round. 2d6 for the enemy. A 4 and a 4. That was the same as last time. Gives them 19. And 2 for myself. A 4 and a 4 again gives me 17. Shit. Bugger. It means I lose that attack round and I have to reduce my stamina to 13. 2d6 for the enemy. A 2 and a 4 gives them 17. Come on, double sixes. A 6 and a 4 gives me 19, which means that I win that attack round and we will bring their stamina down to 7. I'm also going to roll for my luck. I've got to get 9 or below on 2d6. I get a 6, excellent, so it will bring my luck down to 8. It means I bring their stamina down by another 2 to 5. Excellent, and so 2d6 for the enemy for the next attack round. 2 and a 5 gives them 18. And 2d6 for myself. 6 and a 4 gives me 19. I win that attack round. And so I'll bring their stamina down to 3. I'm actually going to test my luck again. I've got to get 8 or below on 2d6. A 5 and a 2. Very lucky. That was 7. And I'm going to reduce my luck down to 7 as well. So we've only got to get one more hit on this mother chucker. And that will be the end of this battle. So 2d6 for the enemy on the next attack round. 6 and a 1 gives them 18 again. Come on, double sixes. 2 for myself. I know I can't see the chat at the minute, but Abe is definitely shouting fix in the chat right now. He's definitely shouting fixed. Well, there we go. 21 beats their 18, which means that I win the attack round. I won the battle against the 2 moondogs. And there we go. I did it. I did it, boyo. Oh, God. That were very lucky. That were very, very lucky. It could have gone a shite side worse. I can tell they know. It could have gone a shite side worse. Anyway. So... where are we? What are you saying? Ooh, that's dirty. Yeah, see, I told you. Abe would be in there. Fix. Ooh, that's dirty. Do you think so? Huh. Anyway, I won the battle, and that was the end of that. So, anyway, I did the moondogs, didn't I? Yes, I've done the moondogs. Yada yada. Right, sorry for that. I was just trying to catch up with chat, see if there was anything I missed. So I won against the moondogs. You wipe the blood from your sword and walk to the wooden door. Hang on, before I do anything else, actually. I'm going to eat a provision, so bring that down to 6 and bring my stamina up to 17. That'll do. There we go. You wipe the blood from your sword and walk to the wooden door. You try the handle, but it is locked. If you have a skeleton key, turn to 228, which I don't. Otherwise, you may either pull on the cord or attempt to charge the door. Well, I'm not going to start fucking around and charging doors and shit. I'm just going to pull on the cord. You hear the bell ring on the other side of the door, and a few minutes later, the door is opened by a thin, pale-skinned man with dark, hollow eyes. It's Riff Raff from Rocky Horror Picture Show, surely, who is wearing a servant's uniform. In a cold, hissing voice, he says, "Yes. If you wish to tell him you are a lost traveller, turn to 339. If you wish to attack him with your sword, turn to 35. Right, okay, so I'm gonna ask you in the chat. I'm gonna use one of my lifelines. And I'm gonna ask you in the chat, do I attack him or tell him I'm a traveller? Attack. Okay, so I'm starting a poll. Start your votes now. Should I tell him I'm a traveller or shall I just attack him? I'm gonna let you guys decide on this one. What do you mean, Yarny raid? Yarny wasn't playing anything tonight. What? Where? When was Yarny playing stuff? I don't understand. Yarny wasn't. Was Yarny playing with Uncle Martin? Was she playing alone? What was going on? Like, is that where you've all been? Instead of being here watching my show, you've been watching her show. How fucking dare you? You know, do you know how much she ignores me in the chats when I go over to her channel? Anyway, welcome Bendover. Pleasure to see you in the chat. We're having a poll in the chat at the moment. What should I do? Should I tell the man at the door of the big bad castle that I'm a lost traveller, or should I attack him with my sword? Which one should I do? Which way should I go? Which way should I go? Yarny was playing Don't Starve as she had real life in the morning. I don't know what that means. It's good to see you anyway, Ben. Yeah, I know, right? Atom, that darn Yarny. It wasn't the solo show people have been requesting, no. No, not at all. But no, it's nice to know that Yarny steals all of my viewers and then, you know, like, you know, throws me the scraps, so to speak, when she's done with you all. Thanks for the raid, Yarny. Really appreciate it. Thanks for stealing all of my viewers and then throwing me the scraps afterwards. I really appreciate it. Anyway, there's a poll in the chat. Answer the fucking poll, okay? What should I do? Like, only... How many votes has it got? 5 votes. Come on, there's got to be more than that of you in the chat now that Yarny's raided. Surely. Where are you, Yarny? Get in the fucking chat and vote. Stealing all my fucking viewers. She did this with the Tuesday night stream as well. Like I started playing GTA Vice. I've always played my streams on a Tuesday night, like my gaming streams. And then she decides to fucking start streaming half an hour before I start. And so she steals all my fucking my viewers over there and all. Bastard. And then she's got the gall to ignore me in the chat whenever I go over to her streams. It's a cheek, I tells ya. It's a cheek. Vote in the chat anyway. Exactly, Atom. I'm getting sloppy seconds. It's not right. It's not right at all. Not fair. Mind you, neither is a black man's arse. Anyway, I'm going to end the poll. And so it seems like 80% of the voters choose tell him I'm a lost traveller. Okay, so that's what I'll do. The man looks at you and smiles, saying, "We do not get many visitors in these parts, but I'm sure my master would wish you to have a room for the night. Do come in." He steps back and you follow him into a beautiful marble-floored hallway. There are portraits and shields hanging on the walls and a spiral staircase that leads to the floor above. He asks you to follow him up the staircase and offers to carry your backpack for you, which you allow him to do. You can see that the staircase winds its way all the way to the top of the tower, but the man steps off at the first floor and walks along the landing to a door. He opens it and walks into a large room, placing your backpack on a made-up bed. He tells you that this is your room for the night and walks out, telling you that you will meet his master after breakfast. If you wish to lock the door and go to bed, turn to 288. If you wish to explore the tower after waiting a few minutes, turn to 77. Well, it would be stupid to fucking go to sleep in the Night Prince's tower, so I'm certainly not going to be doing that. So, what do we do now? You walk quietly back to the staircase and climb up onto the second floor. Again, there is a door at the end of the landing. If you wish to open the door, turn to 292. If you wish to climb up to the third floor, turn to 310. Salty Jack getting the sloppy seconds. Yep. Someone just got his dick inside a pint. Dick inside a pint glass, that's right. What is my stamina at the minute? It's at 17. I could just eat some provisions. I'm not really bothered about that. Not really bothered about that. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to ignore the I'm going to ignore the door and go up to the third floor, I think. You climb up to the third floor and you see another door at the end of the landing. If you wish to open the door, turn to 263. If you wish to climb to the next floor, turn to 65. I'm going to ignore this door as well, I think. Someone just got his dick inside a pint glass. Oh, I see what you're talking about now. There's Atom saying, "Awesome, thank you. I hope it serves you well." Yes. On the next floor, there are two doors adjacent to one another on the landing. One is painted white and the other is painted black. Suddenly, a voice calls out from nowhere, saying, "Foolish adventurer. Why do you even consider it a remote possibility that you can defeat me? The almighty Zanbar burn. I am following your every move, but you do not know where I am. Ha, ha, ha." Will you open the white door, open the black door, or carry on up the stairs? So what do you think I should do? White door, blick door, or carry on up the stairs? Well, I can tell you it's the white door. I'm going to go in the white door. You enter the room, which is very cold and dark. The walls and floors are made of rough stone, and the room is empty except for a decorated sarcophagus. There is a strong, musty smell in the air. You want to open the sarcophagus? Yes, that's where we want to go. We want to open the sarcophagi. You lift the lid of the sarcophagus and you see the human body completely encased in old bandages. The light, although dim, has disturbed the sleep of a mummy, and it sits up, turning its head from side to side. It senses that where you are and starts to climb out of its sarcophagus. It walks towards you with arms extended. If you wish to fight the mummy, turn to 193. If you have a lantern, you may throw it at the mummy. I do have a lantern, 106. The lantern breaks on impact with the mummy and covers it in burning oil. Flames spread quickly along the dry bandages, and the mummy is soon consumed with fire. If you wish to inspect the sarcophagus, turn to 163. If you wish to leave the room immediately, turn to 231. Well, I'm going to go and inspect the sarcophagus. The sarcophagus contains a gold ring which has an eye etched into its top. You have found the long-lost ring of the golden eye, fabled for its ability to allow its wearer to detect illusions. Add 2 luck points and leave the room. Well, I currently have a 7 luck, so I'm going to add those 2 and give me 9. Lovely. So I've done that, and I've got the ring of the golden eye. There we go. So I've got the ring of the golden eye, and I've got 2 luck points. Jolly good. So oh, I didn't realize that it's on your you've got like a 4th wall shop, Atom. And that's where the Dickens glass is. So yes, if you want to support Atom Grey and the B-Roll team, go over to the brollshop.fourthwall.com and buy their merch. Get your filthy otter beer holder here. Yes. The way you said that made it sound like dick inside a pint glass. Well, you know. Dick inside a pint glass, dick inside her pint glass. I think that's what it's supposed to be. That's the joke. That's the funny. Anyway, we're nearly there now, folks. Nearly there. I can't leave the stream now, can I? Because it's like, I know it's 10 to 1 in the morning for me, like it says there on the clock. Outside on the landing, you may either enter the black door, turn to 96, or walk back to the stairs, climb up to the next floor, turn to 197. Well, I tell you what, let's have a look at me stamina. My stamina is at 17. If I eat 1 provision now, I know I won't get the full benefit of it. So I am gonna refill my stamina up to the initial level. I've now got 5 provisions instead of 6. And I'm going to go through the black door rather than going to what's it? You open the door and enter the room, which is adorned with macabre objects and paintings. Black cat is sitting in front of the table covered in black cloth. 2 black candles are burning on either side of a mirror on the far wall. On the table lies an open chest containing a golden skull. Will you walk over to the chest? Close the door and open the white door if you've not done so already, or close the door and walk back over to the staircase and climb up to the next floor. Well, I'm going to walk over to the chest. Am I wearing the ring of the golden eye? I sure fucking am, buddy. A voice in your mind tells you that the chest is an illusion and does not exist. Also, you see that the black cat is not what you thought it was. Before you stands a black-robed skeleton with green, translucent eyes, wearing golden crown on its skull. Sandbar Bone! We've made it, boys. We're nearly there. You've got to take it to completion. Oh, I've got to finish myself off. Am I going to win or am I going to lose? It's Zambar Bone anyway. Before you have time to notch your arrow, the Night Prince pulls 3 teeth from his mouth and throws them on the floor. They explode in puffs of smoke, and out of them step 3 skeletons armed with swords like it's Jason and the Argonauts or some crazy shit. So, we've got 3 skeletons to battle. Let's do this! Let's do this. So let's get that battle music back on. And I guess, so it's the first enemy has 6 and 7. So 6 and 7. Delete these old scores. Okay, this is like the final battle before... This is more of a boss battle than the actual Zambar Bone battle. Kind of. So, anyway, 2d6 for the enemy to start the first attack round. So let's do this. 2d6. A 3 and a 5. Gives them 14. And 2 for myself. 2 and a 1. Gives me 12. They win that attack round. And so I'm reduced to 17. Next attack round, 2d6 for the enemy. 6 and a 3. Gives them 15. And 2 for myself. A 6 and a 2 gives me 17. Means I win that attack round. And we'll reduce their stamina to 5. Next attack. Oh, hang on. Do I want to test my luck? Yeah, I'm going to test my luck. 2d6. Got to get 9 or below. Yeah, that was easy. 8. I'll reduce my luck down to, and we'll take another 2 off that dude. So stamina is now 3, and we'll roll 2d6 for the enemy on the next attack round. That's turned out as an 11, which means that it was a 5 and a 6 by the look of it. 5 and 6 gives them 17. And then 2 for myself. 4 and a 4 equals 8. I don't think that's quite cut it. Not quite. 17, which means that we've parried blows. So on to the next attack round. 2d6 for the enemy. Christ, a 5 and a 5. That gives them 16. And 2 for myself. I don't think that's cut it either. 2 and a 3 gives me 14. They win that attack round. And we'll reduce my stamina down to 15. 2d6 for the enemy. Christ. 6 and a 3 gives them 15. And 2d6 for myself. 3 and a 4 gives me 16. Nice. Which means I win that attack round. We'll bring their stamina down to 1, and we'll just carry on with the next attack round. 2d6 for the enemy. 5 and a 4 gives them 15 again. And another 2 for myself. 4 and a 2 gives me 15, which means we've parried blows. So on to the next attack round. 2d6 for the enemy. 6 and a 2 gives them 14. And 2 for myself. It's turned out as a 7, so it must be 6 and a 1. That gives me 16, which means I win that attack round. I've beaten that enemy. And so it's on to the next enemy. So what's his score? It's an 8 and a 6, a skill of 8 and a stamina of 6. A little bit more difficult to beat in terms of skill, but not so far to go with stamina. Okay, 2d6 for the enemy. Oh great, 2 6s, what a roll for him. I'm never going to beat that. Gives them 20. 2d6 for myself, 3 and a 2. Gives me 14. Which means they win that attack round, and I'm down to 13. 2d6 for the enemy, a 3 and a 5. Gives them 16. And 2d6 for myself. It seems to be just taking its time. Okay. 2 4s. That gives me 17. I win the attack round and we'll reduce them down to 4. I'm going to try my luck. Got to get 8 or below on 2d6. Well, that's fucked that. So I've got to give them 1 back and take 1 away from my luck. So we're down to 7 luck now. Okay, 2d6 for the enemy. 6 and a 1. Gives them 15. And 2 for myself. Fuck's sake. 2 and a 3 gives me 14. They just made it by winning that, so I'll bring myself down to 11 now. 2d6 for the enemy. Nice. Snake eyes. Bit of a better roll. Gives them 10. 2d6 for myself. It's better than 2 6s, so I win that attack round. We'll bring them down to 3. Okay, next attack round. 2d6. 3 and a 5. Gives them 16. And 2 for myself. A 6 and a 2. Gives me 17. I just scraped through that. We'll bring their stamina down to 1. Okay, 2d6 for the enemy. 2 4s. Gives them 16 again. And 2 more d6 for myself. 2 2s. Oh, shit. I don't think that cut it, because it gives me 13. And we'll reduce my stamina down to 9. Okay, 2d6 for the enemy. 5 and a 1. Gives them 14. And 2d6 for myself. 4 and a 4. Gives me 17, which means I win that attack round. And we've beat that enemy. So what's the next enemy's stats? A 7 and a 7. So it's got a skill of 7 and a stamina of 7. I've only got a stamina of 9 left, but I do have a superior skill of 9. So let's see how this goes. It's the last enemy of this battle. So 2d6 for the enemy. 3 and a 3. Gives them 13. And 2d6 for myself. Oh, snake eyes. Come on, you bastard. Gives me 11, which means that I lose that attack round. It's brought me down to 7. So we're kind of on equal footings now as to stamina. A 1 and a 3 for the enemy gives them 11. And we'll roll 2d6 for myself, a 5 and a 3 for me, which means I win that attack round with 17. We'll bring them down to 5 stamina. Okay, on with the next attack round, or shall I test my luck? I'll test my luck, see what happens. Oh, just a 4 and a 3 equals 7, which means I could get to take another 2 stamina off them, but now we're really in the shit zone with the luck. So I'm down to 6 luck. Okay, on with the next attack round. 2d6 for the enemy. Snake eyes, that's just what I like to see. 2 1s give them a 9. And 2d6 for myself. 5 and a 3. That's going to give me 17. Excellent. And so there we go, 17. I win the attack round. We'll bring their stamina down to 1. This is it now. Final, hopefully the final round. 2d6 for the enemy. A 5 and a 4 gives them 16. Come on, double 6s. 2d6 for myself. 5 and a 1. They win that attack round by 1 point. Brings me down to 5. And we'll roll 2d6 for the enemy. Let's go. A 6 and a 2. Gives them 15. And 2d6 for myself. Shit. A 1 and a 4 gives me 14, which means they win that attack round again. I'm down to 3. How's this gonna go, boys and girls? How's this gonna go? 2d6 for the enemy. Oh, God, no! Don't forget, boys and girls, you can also donate like one, or you can if you donate £2, you can give me a random potion. If you donate £3, you can give me a potion of choice that I can use in battle. So yeah, what was it? What was the 2? It was a, what was it? A 5 and a 6. Yeah. So they scored 11. A 5 and a 6 gives them 18. And 2d6 for myself. A 5 and a 3 gives me 17. They win by 1 point again. And I'm down now to my last point. Could this be where it ends? Let's see what you're all saying in the chat. Not a lot. Okay. Let's move on. This is it then, boys and girls. Unless someone donates to me right this second, I'm up shit creek without a paddle. So 4 and a 3 gives them 14. And 2d6 for myself. I think that'll do it. Gives me 21. I win against their... Shit, man. So yes, I did it. Looks like I did it. I doed it. I won. Wow. Go on, Abe. Say it. Say it. Do the thing. Say the line. Say the line, Abe. Holy cow. That was fucking lucky, man. That was fucking lucky. So let's think about this. I've got 5 provisions left. In order to get back up to 18, so we've got 4, 8, 12, 16. I know, Abe. Fuck off, don't you say it, Adam. I couldn't believe it myself. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Yeah, I think that'll do it. So if I eat all 5 provisions now, that'll bring me back up to my thingamabob. So I'm going to eat all 5 provisions right now, which means I've got no provisions left. I'm going to bring myself right back up to 19, and what's even more is I'm going to get rid of my potion of fortune, bringing my current back up to its initial value, but plus adding 1 to the initial luck. So I've got 12 luck, I've got 19 stamina. Let's carry on with the Doobry Firkin with the game. Whew, that was some fucking luck. Daily Dysfunction in the chat. It's a pleasure to see you, sweetie. I haven't seen you in so long. I hope you're doing so well, darling. I really hope you're doing well. Okay. So Zanbar Bone walks towards you, trying to touch your exposed skin with his bony fingers. You throw down your sword, notch your silver arrow, and you only have 1 chance. You take aim and release the bowstring. Test your luck. If you're lucky, the arrow finds its mark and pierces the Night Prince through his robed chest, which I will win because I have full luck of 12, and you can only roll 12 on 2d6. So I will be lucky. So I'm not even gonna. All right, I'll roll just for posterity. See what the roll was. 2d6. A 3 and a 3 equals 6. So yes. Oh, well, I hope you get better soon, sweetie. Good to see you anyway. Yes, I've been diddling myself for the past 3 hours. So I was lucky anyway. So the Night Prince is paralyzed, but not for long. He can summon unearthly powers to defend himself, and you must act quickly. What compound will you rub into his eyes? Will you try the hag's hair and black pearls, the black pearls and lotus flower? That's supposed to say lotus flower. Or the lotus flower and hag's hair? So, I actually know which one it is. It's the, well, actually, what do you think in the chat? I'm gonna use another lifeline. I don't have to take the answer, but I'm going to use another lifeline. I'm going to ask one member of the audience. It's a phone a friend. So I'm going to ask the one member of the audience that I want to ask right now. Daily Dysfunction. Which would you pick out of those 3 choices, knowing nothing about the game? Not that you need to know anyway. You've just got to pick one of those. It's either hag's hair and black pearls and lotus flower, or lotus flower and hag's hair. Which would you choose? And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to have a quick toot on me vape pen. And a sip of me coffee. You would not believe the luck that I just ran into, Daily Dysfunction. That was amazing RNG-bus. So what do you reckon then, Daily Dysfunction? Hag's hair and black pearls, Black pearls and lotus flower and hag's hair. Which will it be? Which way shall I go? Black pearls and lotus flower. Well, had you chosen black pearl and lotus flower, Zanbar Bone would have just rubbed his eyes and gone, ow, that hurts a little bit. Come here, you little bastard. I've got you now, and now you're one of Zanbar Bone's creatures of the night, basically. Because the actual answer is lotus flower and hag's hair. Turn to 337. Congratulations! You have killed Zanbar Bone, the infamous Night Prince. He decays before your eyes, becoming nothing more than a small pile of powder on the floor, which, if I were Nick Raketa, I would not be able to help myself but sniff it up my nose. The first time ever anyone on the show has gotten to turn to 400, and here we go. You leave Zanbar Bone's Black Tower as quickly as you can, not wishing to spend another moment in the infernal place. Before leaving, however, you set a light to it so no evil entity may ever again use it for foul deeds. You sleep the rest of the night and long into the next morning in the hayfield before setting off for Silverton in the afternoon. Battle-weary and hungry, you arrive in Silverton the same evening. You are given a hero's welcome, and gift after gift is bestowed upon you. A feast is arranged, and there is laughter and music and drinking in all the streets. Finally, Owen Caroliff makes a speech and presents you with a gold orb worth hundreds of gold pieces. The people of Silverton are joyous once again, and with that, the first time that stinger has been played on the show. Yes, Abe. What a surprise. I'm not jealous at all. And there you have it, boys and girls. That's how you beat the City of Thieves. And on that bombshell, we're back to my beautiful visage, mon visage. Regardez mon visage, c'est très beau, no? So, the gift that keeps on giving, indeed, Legatus. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us here on Read and Roll. That's how you beat the City of Thieves. I will do... hang on. Oh, go back and see what Daly's path would lead you to. Let's give it a go. Hang on a second. I don't know where... I don't know roughly where it is. Hang on. What? Where was it? Let's see if we can find it. Okay, so I think this is the skeletons here. Okay. So I was lucky, and Black Pearls and Lotus Flower was the one that Daly chose. So 129. You step back from the vile body. Oh, hang on, let me get back to the FF game. Alright, shut up, don't rub it in. Abe's already a bit butthurt about it. You step back from the vile body of Zanbar Bone, waiting for him to decay. However, you have chosen poorly. He pulls the arrow from his chest and rubs the compound from his eyes. He sees you and laughs. You are mesmerized by his power and unable to move. He walks up to you, touches your face with his skeletal fingers. Your life is being quickly drained away, and you will soon begin your undead existence as a servant of Zanbar Bone. And so, yes. You said lotus flower with hag's hair. Oh, so you actually got it right, Crimson Shadow. I think everyone is what, Abe? Jealous. But nevertheless, there it is. That's the end of the journey. Thank you for joining me here on Read and Roll on this wonderful Thursday, where I've taught you how to play your way, or one of the best ways, if not the best way, to play through the City of Thieves. What am I doing over the next week? Let's see. I think I might be, I'm not entirely certain, I might be on Iron Oxide's Rogues Gallery tomorrow. I haven't asked them yet, but I might be. Monday night is the Need for Speed stream at the moment. That's what we're doing on a Monday night. We're streaming Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Tuesdays, we're back onto Vice City. We did that on this Tuesday. Wednesday night, I think Smooth the DJ is back on the Hump Day Chinwag, so I think he'll be hosting next Wednesday, but I will still be on there. And afterwards, I will be hosting my own show, which is called Something or Nothing, at 11 o'clock. And then on Thursday night, it's back to Read and Roll again. And I think I'm going to have Comic Dad on next week, even though I haven't asked him yet. I'm going to ask him. He did show some major interest in being on the show. So, yeah, I think it might be quite possible. I don't give a shit that Jackie won. This was more of a tutorial guide. Mysteriously, the only person to ever win on my show was me. Yes, as someone who beat Hot Pursuit, great game. Great game. Yes, it was. Anyway, so that's what's happening throughout the next week. Come and see me. If you wouldn't mind going over to Rumble, if you're not already subscribed on my Read and Roll channel, go over there and follow me on Rumble at Read and Roll. Also follow me on my JackTarLad channel. You can find me on all of my socials at JackTarLad, usually. Find me on Twitter. I'll see you all in the chats soon, I guess. Thank you so much to everyone who's been here. Atom Grey, Lee Gartus, Lee Jonas, Abe, of course, Crimson Shadow, Bendover. Who else has been here? Daily Dysfunction, can't forget Daily. The Eclectic Ghost has been here. Am I forgetting anyone? Probably loads of people, really. But thank you all for being here. And until the next time, I will see you very, very soon. Take care. Good night. I did everything right. Didn't do anything wrong. Oh, the mic was on the whole time, huh?